Hey guys, Dragonstar here. Welcome back to another video. This video is going to be in my tutorial series for how to get to 2k. This time we're going to look at the second half of the climb, 1500 to 2k. This is a little bit more advanced and more suited for intermediate players who are trying to get to 2k. The latter half of the video I'll be talking more about adaptations. The 15 to 1700 climb just revolves around the build order mana terms. 1700 to 2k is where you actually have to start adapting to what your opponent is doing, and I'll give you some indicators on how to do it. With civilization preferences, I would recommend something which has some good early game bonuses. Technically, you can do it with any civilizations, but to just make your life easier, go for a civilization which has a lot of early game economy bonuses specifically and has an open tech tree for late game. This might sound a bit complicated, but there's a few civilizations that I do recommend when starting out. My favorite civilization for beginners when they are about 1500 to 1600 is Portuguese. They have additional wood on their berries, so your dark age is very smooth. You can afford everything. Your technologies are researching faster, so you save a little bit of time based on that, and you have 20% gold discount on your gold units. And since we're going to play mana terms into archers, you save up the gold on both the militia and the archer production. And having open tech tree will allow you to maybe switch into knights if needed later down the line, but we're not even going to touch or think about playing knights. You can kind of adapt after 1700 of mixing knights, but I'm going to stick to 1700 with mana terms into archers without any adaptations. After I reach 1700, I'll start adapting a little bit more, where I'll include skirmishers, I'll include maybe knights, and I'll explain when to add siege, when to boom, and all of that. I'll also give it in my example games. So Portuguese would be my starter civilization for everyone who's jumping into the strategy. The other options could definitely be something like Vietnamese, something like Italians. If you like Meso civilizations are amazing for doing this. Ethiopians, Dravidians, Bohemians, Armenians. There's a lot of civilizations that can pull off this strategy very effectively because you have a lot of bonuses working for it. Shu is also something that comes to my mind when talking about new civilizations. And of course, for fast civilizations, Mongol is king, Lithuanians, and some of the other ones, whichever you guys prefer. Hindustani also is a very, very good option if you are planning to play this route. You do not have access to Obelisk, but most of the time we are not really relying on Obelisk. We're mostly relying on doing damage early and capitalizing it to set up ourselves for the late game. With Portuguese, you don't really have to think as much because your job is very easy on what your game plan is. For the build order, I'm going to open with a little bit more conservative build order, which is going to be 20 pop mana terms rather than your traditional 19 pop mana terms, which the pros are doing. But once I reach 1700, I'll start using the 19 population one, because now we have to be very careful about our execution and our timings. So as I repeated in my build order on how to learn a build order video, practice the first 5, 10, 15 minutes until you can master it, and all of these execution things that will happen with according to adaptations and everything will start making sense on why I am doing them. So let's just jump into a game performance test. I guess I had the new update and it wanted me to do the performance test. Feel free to skip this part of the video. Usually I'm not able to cut this section because I'm not using an editor. I'm just uploading the word straight up. Oh, you saw my score. It's slightly higher if I'm not recording a game, but what can you do? Okay, for the maps, I'm just gonna close up the maps which I do not need. I'm always just gonna restart if I do not get Arabia. There's mostly an Arabia guide. Technically, Golden Pit you can play very similar to Arabia, but for just the demonstration purposes, I'm gonna stick to Arabia because you can kind of adapt these build orders based on the map and the distribution of the resources on how you need them. Let's start the game, and we're gonna start it off at 1512. Last episode I left it at this elo with using just the scouts build order. Technically you can climb up to 2k with the scouts build order, but it's just a little bit harder to execute. You have to be very precise with all your execution every single time, and it becomes a little bit more boring to climb the higher rating with cavalry because it's not really in the meta right now. Going for range units usually is the superior option, especially the higher up you climb on what the top civilizations are for the meta. Right now I think it's infantry with the new DLC. I'll be making a video based on some of my observations and what I think are the correct opening choices with each civilization and how to particularly play them for each different maps. You guys can make decisions based on what you prefer. Okay, so the build order will be 6 on food, 3 on word, rest on food until you have the barracks to click up to the next stage. In terms of how I will distribute my resources, I'll explain it while I'm doing it. I expect everyone to be able to also learn to how to push their deers around the silo. So if I have deers, I'll start pushing them and I'll explain the reasonings behind all the other stuff while I'm doing that. The move out timing for deers will become a little bit different because if there is a map where deer, you have to move out of your base slightly later based on the amount of deers you're pushing. If you have something like 3 deers, I recommend pushing all of them, but it does include some problems when you are not able to find your opponent, especially with a opening like Man at Arms. So for the early game, we mostly just care about finding our initial resources and pushing 1 to 2 deers rather than pushing all of them, for this exact reason, because players at 1500 elo, especially when they're doing the build, well, might not be able to push the deers and scout their opponents at the same time. So I'm just gonna push the minimal amount of deers I actually need for my build order and then go for the scouting immediately after. Trying to find my deer patch, and I found it. There's 2 deers and that's more than enough. Looks like one of the boar is hiding in one of these tiles.
Olá, sim. Quais as vossas ordens? Olá, farei, Luê. Estou pronto.
He wants to lame, it's fine.
Sim. Entendido. Quais as vossas ordens? Estou pronto. Farei, Luê. Sim, sim. Entendido. Olá.
Whenever you get lamed, you just wanna run back to your TC. I just wanted to reduce his HP as much as possible.
Sim. Estou pronto. Caçar. Estou pronto. Sim, caçar. Olá. Caçar.
The build won't really change much. Like 3 on board, everything on food. Push 2 deers minimum. You can push more than 2, but pushing 2 and then scouting would be recommended. As soon as my first boar is a little bit overcrowded, I'm gonna send the villager to take the second boar, and around the time I have 175 wood for the barracks, I'll make it with one of these villages that I'm making from my TC. Using TC to kill the boar and luring the deer at the same time is definitely a skill you guys can try to pick up, but practicing it in single player is the best way to get good at it. Again, it's like super simple in order to execute the build order. Everything to food after you have your 6-3 onward. After that, the last villager will basically go to gold and you'll have the income you need. I'll make a barracks after the I'll make a house after the barracks is finished. And let's go find our opponent. And as soon as you click up, you send another villager to make the mining camp on your gold mine. Once your mining camp is up and your boar is finished, you want to have 8 onward on one lumber camp. I'll make another house and then start queuing up militia. Sometimes I like to only have 2 villagers collecting straggler trees when I'm going for stuff like this, so that I can make my mill as fast as possible. With my walling video, you guys can kinda understand my walling pattern. Like, I just want to have a choke point to my town center. And since my opponent is Japanese, I'm also playing into his strengths. While all of that is happening, I'm gonna make a mill. Having these guys on box formation allows me to have a very compact setup to how to attack my stuff. I'm gonna try to wait for the Manatom upgrade before I commit for the villager. And then we're gonna try to kill villagers. While all of that is happening, I'm not even gonna look as much as my army. I'm just gonna commit for villager kills. Make the archery range. Go for 5 villages on the berries and start thinking about walling up. That's basically the opening part of the game. Next step is to try to get the wood upgrade as fast as I can while I'm making my walls. If he is attacking me with Manatoms and stuff, I'll position my archers in order to defend myself. Since I've already killed villagers, I'm not in the rush to get fletching. I'm gonna wait a couple of villagers before I make the blacksmith. So 5 on berries, the rest of the villagers on gold, basically, until I have 5 on gold. Once I have 5 on gold,
Cortar madeira. Farei no way. Quais são as vossas ordens?
I want the wood upgrade as fast as possible.
Olá.
Olá.
Quais são as vossas ordens? As armas. Estou pronto. Construir.
Always just make house walls behind your existing palisades in order to defend yourself.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Atacar. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as armas? Quais?
I'm gonna need a blacksmith next.
Sim, sim, sim. Quais? Coletar. Ir-me-ei. Construir. Estou pronto. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim, sim.
Estou pronto. Construir. Construir.
Sim. Atacar. Quais são as armas? Ao seu dispor. Entendido. Farei no way. Entendido. Sim. Quais são as vossas?
Well, looks like he has more archers, so I'm just gonna wait for the upgrade before I do anything about this.
Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas? Sim. Farei.
He even has fletching.
Construir.
Sim. Ao seu dispor. Estou pronto. Sim. Sim. Ao seu dispor.
Estou pronto.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Construir.
Quais?
Ao
Construir.
seu dispor. Atacar.
Estou
Just
pronto.
gonna keep creating choke points.
As armas. Quais são as vossas? Atacar. Avançar. Farei no way. As armas. Entendido. Avançar. Quais são? Atacar. Entendido. Sim. Ao seu dispor. Farei no way. Quais são as armas? Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Entendido. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Atacar. Farei no way. As armas. Ao seu dispor. Atacar. Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens? Quais? Construir. Estou pronto.
I just wanna keep creating villagers and archers at the same time.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
I'll just use the hill advantage to fight.
Quais são as vossas ordens? As armas. Atacar. Quais são as vossas ordens? Farei no way.
Estou pronto. Sim. Coletado.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Entendido. As vossas ordens.
If I'm fighting a lot like this, I'll even consider going for the armor for my archers, just so that I can sustain my army.
Quais são as armas? Sim. Sim. Ao seu dispor. Farei no way. As armas. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. As armas. Sim. Ao seu dispor. Atacar. Sim. Avançar. Sim. Olá. Construir. Atacar. Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Quais são as armas?
Now we're just trying to go up to the next stage, basically.
Quais são atacar? As armas. Entendido. Farei no way. Sim, sim, ao seu dispor. Atacar. Quais são? Sim, ao seu dispor. As armas. Sim, farei no way. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Farei no way.
Estou
Entendido.
pronto. Quais as vossas
Ao seu Quais são as vossas ordens?
Estou pronto. Olá. Cortar. Sim.
Sim, quais são as vossas ordens? Atacar. Ao seu dispor. Avançar.
Estou pronto. Construir. Sim. Construir. Olá. Construir.
Sim, as armas.
Estou pronto. Minerar.
Ao seu dispor.
Next step is basically to add a second archery range,
Sim, atacar. Ao seu dispor. As armas. Estou pronto.
because he's playing double archery range right now, which means he's sacrificing economy in order to sustain his army, because he also went for the Manatum upgrade.
Sim,
Olá.
I'll lose a villager there, which is sloppy, but sometimes you do end up losing a villager, which is fine.
ao seu dispor. Avançar. Sim, atacar. Quais são as armas? Atacar. As armas.
Sim. Construir.
Sim, ao seu dispor. Avançar.
Olá.
Sim, quais são as armas? Avançar. Entendido. As armas. Quais são as vossas atacar. Farei no way. Avançar. Entendido. As armas. Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Entendido. Atacar. Ao seu dispor. As armas. Farei quais são as vossas avançar. Ao seu dispor. Farei no way. Entendido. Estou pronto. Construir. Cortar. Sim, construir.
Now we just keep making archers while going up to the next stage. Get the horse color upgrade for your farms.
Minerar.
Estou
Because I was under pressure, I basically had to continue making army while
Sim.
letting myself go up to the next stage. My only inclination for what happened over there was he was playing double archery range immediately, and he also cut a couple of villages in order to sustain his army production. So my uptime to the next stage will be much faster than his.
Sim.
And look at the amount of food I'm floating because of all of that.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Quais são
The new villages, as soon as they're done with the farms, I'll put them on I'll put them on wood and stuff because I'm just gonna wait for my upgrade. These 3 upgrade cost a lot of food, so I'm gonna get them, and I'm gonna get ballistics immediately to make my army very effective against his range units. The next few things I want is wheelbarrow and town watch. These are 2 of the most important upgrades you need, especially in a range unit war. And then I'll remove a couple of villages from gold in order to sustain my production building. So he's gonna make a couple of towers, which is fine against tower defense. Oh, there is his army. I'm gonna look to attack his wood lines if I can find stuff to hit. While all of that is happening, get ballistics. Try to kill his army. Next step, get to 3 town centers and 30 farms. Look, his uptime to the next stage is much worse because he was playing double archery range immediately. So he won't really be able to do anything with my faster uptime. He made towers everywhere in his base, which is completely fine. We don't really care about killing his economy. We care mostly about expanding our own economy. Use the crossbows to maintain map control. Based on what unit he's making, we'll make counter units. So my guess would be he's gonna make skirmishes against my crossbows. So in order to defend against all of that, I just need a siege workshop. So I'll make a siege workshop in the middle of the map. If I cannot find any areas to do damage, I'll start killing his farms. That's usually the easiest way to force damage on your opponents. Looks like he's gonna continue making crossbows, so I'm gonna continue making crossbows myself. And I want 30 farms until I'm ready to go up to the next stage. The way I macro is just by farming. It's all about just keeping your town centers running. Trying to finish the game is usually the big mistake everyone tries to do at this stage of the game. You're better off just macroing most of the time. Unless you struggle in the late game with your civilization, I don't recommend ever trying to immediately end the game if you don't see an opportunity to do a big amount of damage. I'm already by default pulling ahead because I'm making lots of villagers. 30 to 35 farms, and then we are up to the next stage. I'll make cannons and trebs. I'll start pulling a couple of villages to the gold and stone. Prepare myself up to going up to the next stage. I'll get handcart. Looks like he wanted to sneak around. I'll send my mangonels in order to defend against that. Get the farm upgrade and start seeding a couple of extra farms just so that I can boost my uptime a little bit.
Construir. Quais? Ao seu dispor. Ordens.
I'm cutting army production because there is no fighting happening and I just want to sustain a couple of units to maintain map control.
Construir.
Olá. Construir. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Farei as armas.
Sim. Construir. Construir.
Sim.
Esto pronto. Construir. Construir. Minerar.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Sim. Entendi. Quais são as vossas ordens?
I also want a monastery so that I can start picking up relics, but it's not really needed. Like we're just waiting for our upclick.
Olá.
Estou
Minerar.
pronto.
Sim.
Sim, sim.
There he is.
Farei ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Atacar. Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Quais são as vossas ordens? Farei avançar.
If you ever see skirmishes from your opponent, just make mangonels.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
While going up, I'll add one more archery range, and since I maintained my archer mass, I don't really need to add that many more range units.
Construir.
Sim. Entendi. As armas. Ao seu dispor.
He wants a castle, which is fine.
Sim, sim. Ao seu dispor. Quais são? Farei ordens. Estou pronto. Construir. Quais? Sim, sim.
Taking control of the hill in the middle usually is one of the ways to play this, but I can just attack his base instead.
Farei away.
Position some of my villagers to go there.
Esto pronto.
Reparar. Ir.
Olá.
Sim,
Para.
sim. Entendido. Sim. Construir. Cortar madeira.
Sim. Construir. Entendi. Esto pronto.
Ao seu
That's a
farei
mistake.
Olá.
Estou pronto. Construir. Sim, quais? Quais são ordens? Sim, entendido. Ao seu dispor.
Farei logo. Sim.
Olá.
Entendi.
Quais são? Avançar. Ao seu
But it's fine. My army is over there to support it.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim, avançar. Sim.
Minerar.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Ao seu dispor.
Olá.
Estou pronto.
Construir.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim.
Construir.
Ao seu dispor.
My faster uptime should basically
Atacar.
allow me to trap down everything.
Avançar.
Get chemistry, get bracer.
Ao seu dispor. Olá. Atacar. Quais são as vossas ordens? Quais as vossas ordens?
Okay, sorry for that.
Entendido. Quais? Estou pronto. Quais são? Farei ordens? Ao seu dispor.
Basically just make more castles and slowly kill your opponent.
Olá.
Minerar.
We can start making market, and the next step is just to try to get to 200 population,
Olá. Minerar.
and you can make a secondary switch into whatever unit you
Ao
want.
seu dispor. Entendido. Sim. As armas. Sim. As armas. Farei avançar. Sim. Sim.
The supporting unit against skirmishers usually is light cavalry or hussar based on your civilization.
Quais são? Ao seu dispor. Olá. Construir. Sim. As armas. Farei quais são? Avançar. Ao seu dispor. Sim. Atacar. Sim. Entendido. Quais são? Farei
Even if your opponent is up, it's not really a thing because as long as you make villages and try to get to 125 villages, you should have a pretty significant lead over your opponents.
Sim. Quais? Construir.
Like I basically got an advantage in the early game and I sat on it until Imperial Age. I can also make a castle over there on top of the hill. Balance my resources, start making light cav, pick up relics. repair my siege units. Usually that's the simple way of playing this. And that's GG.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
A little bit of adaptation was needed, but the main crux of the build remains very much what you expect. If you go back to my learning build order video, you can see it, where I explained how to do this particular build. Just doing it with Portuguese makes it very easy on your economy, since you have lots of extra resources you get from collecting berries and saving up the gold. Him playing double archery range kinda disabled his
Construir.
opening.
Sim.
Coletar. Olá. Coletar.
Six on food, 3 on wood, rest on food until you have enough wood for a barracks. That's the build. Pretty simplified in terms of how to do it. And we just want to go up on 20 pop.
Quais?
Coletar.
Coletar.
6 food. Push deers. Basically as many as you can without sacrificing your scouting timing, so that you're able to find your opponent.
Coletar. Esto pronto. Coletar. Sim.
Caçar.
Olá. Caçar. Esto pronto. Sim. Coletar.
Estou pronto. Quais? Caçar vossas ordens? Olá. Quais? Vossas ordens?
Quais?
By latest, I want to be out of my base by minute
Caçar.
5:30. Anything later than that is basically I'm not going to be able to find my opponent.
Esto pronto. Sim. Quais? Esto pronto.
And a neat trick that I can show you guys about the timing is you go for the 13th villager to make a house and then collect any of the resources which is towards the enemy. So I'll put that villager. Oh, that's bad. Should not have killed that sheep, but it's okay. I'll work with it.
Olá. Caçar.
The trick is to just keep that villager over there, collecting any of the resources that it needs.
Coletar.
And by the time the villager is collecting any of the 10 of its resource that you're putting it on, it can be wood, it can be stone, it can be gold, doesn't matter as long as you're collecting it towards the enemy.
Quais?
You'll have the wood income you need to place the barracks.
Sim. Cortar madeira. Estou
Esto
pronto.
pronto.
And now we can just make the barracks.
Construir. Sim. Caçar.
And it's around 5:30 is when I want to be leaving my base after pushing most of my hunt.
Coletar.
Quais? As construir ordens? Olá. Quais? As vossas ordens?
Everything to food, and then we are up to the next stage.
Olá. Sim.
Esto pronto. Caçar.
Estou pronto. Farei-lo-ei. Sim. Caçar. Estou pronto. Caçar. Quais? As
Caçar.
vossas
Last
ordens?
bit of balance is where you have to pay attention to what the build will look like. The last villager goes to gold.
Olá. Coletar. Sim, caçar. Estou pronto.
And we're up to the next stage.
Sim.
After you click up,
Quais as vossas ordens?
remember to position your villages on different resources. Looks like he's chasing me, it's fine.
Quais as vossas ordens? Construir.
We can just lure him back to our base. It's all good. Finish your boar. He stopped chasing me, so I can go back and scout him. Whenever you're getting chased and have low HP on your scout, it's completely fine. You can just bring him back to your base under your town center and send villages out like that. Next step, get to 8 villages on wood.
Cortar madeira.
3 villages make the 3 militia, and then you move out as soon as your 3rd militia is out.
Hola. Coletar. Esto pronto.
I'll move out.
dispor. Sim. Entendi. Avançar. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Sim. Farei-lo.
Sim. Coletar. Quais as
As soon as I have the wood for the mill, I'll make it with 3 villagers.
Sim.
Quais as
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Construir.
Start walling up a little bit.
Construir.
Run away from my scout because he was just camping there, protecting himself. Also, I want to lure him away from the militia so that he can't quick wall his stuff in. Because if he sees my militia coming, he'll be able to wall it out.
Quais as vossas ordens? Olá. Coletar.
5 villages on the berries,
Esto pronto.
2 farms.
As armas. Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Atacar. Quais são as vossas
Avançar.
ordens? Ao seu dispor. Sim.
As armas.
Quais são as
Ao
vossas
seu
ordens?
dispor.
Entendi. Farei.
Use one of my
Farei entender. Quais são as vossas ordens?
attempts to block, but
Sim.
he blocked it with his scout, so it's all good.
Olá. Sim. Quais são as vossas
Go
ordens?
for
Ao seu dispor. Farei
3 farms
Sim.
and then go for the archery
Quais
range.
são as
As armas.
vossas
Atacar.
ordens?
As armas.
Sim. Entendi. Farei
Avançar.
ao seu dispor. Entendi.
Atacar.
Hola. Cortar madeira.
Make the archery range.
As vossas ordens.
Start walling up as well.
As armas.
Coletar. Construir. Construir. Coletar.
Sim. Avançar.
Esto pronto.
Estou pronto.
Sim. Cortar madeira. Construir. Cortar
Ao seu
madeira.
dispor.
While we're fully walling up, I'll continue
Construir.
just adding farms and stuff.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Coletar. Construir. Quais as vossas ordens?
I'll just kill the lumber camp since it's the
Construir.
best value I'll get from my units.
Quais as
Once my archery range is up,
Esto
I'll start positioning a couple of villages to gold until I have the gold income I need in order to
Sim.
make
Quais
archers
são as
non-stop.
vossas ordens? Quais?
Olá.
Ao seu dispor.
Sim.
Sim. Sim. Liderar. Ao seu dispor.
Atacar.
Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Avançar.
I'll wait for 3 archers, then move out of my base. And since he's playing scouts, I'll also make a spearman.
Esto
While all of that is happening, I'll make a blacksmith.
Sim. Construir. Sim. Construir. Cortar madeira.
Olá.
Coletar.
Quais?
And I want to get to 16 farms. Next, basically, that's the next benchmark on how to click up to the next stage.
Sim. Quais são
As armas. Atacar.
Sim. Sim.
As armas.
Quais são as vossas
Avançar.
Ao seu dispor.
Atacar.
Sim. Entendido. Ao seu dispor. Estou pronto. Construir.
Olá. Construir.
Quais são as
Make
vossas
farms every time you have 60 wood. Get fletching on the way up to his base.
Esto pronto.
While I'm fully walled, always just keep making house walls behind your existing walls.
Quais as construir.
Sim. Sim.
Now we're just waiting for
Quais são
16
as
farms.
vossas ordens?
I have 11, 5 more to go.
Construir. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens? Entendido.
Sim. Construir.
Sim.
Even against skirmishes, as long as they don't have armor for the skirmishes and you're fletching, you can kinda kill them.
Quais
Ao seu dispor. Entendido. Quais são as ordens?
Make a rotation
Quais são as Entendido. Sim. Farei
around his
Ao seu
base.
dispor. Sim. Sim. Farei Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. As armas. Entendido.
Just run away from the skirm if I feel like I can't kill it.
Avançar.
Always try to attack the one weak skirm if he is fighting, continuing to fight with it.
Esto pronto. Construir.
I have 16 farms. Now we go for the second lumber camp.
Sim. Entendido. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Always just keep making units non-stop.
Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens? As armas. Avançar. Farei Atacar.
I'll trade my army for his scouts.
Avançar. Ao seu dispor. Atacar.
Just start to step back and right-click his units.
Atacar. Entendido. As armas. Sim. Atacar. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Entendido.
Olá. Construir. Construir.
Ao seu dispor.
Snake is attacking me.
Sim.
I can click up after this villager.
Farei away. Entendido. Farei away.
Quais?
Olá. Quais são as vossas ordens?
So technically the correct play from this position is to go for a stable or siege workshop immediately. But instead of doing that, I'll continue to play crossbows because
Quais?
even against the skirmisher play, if you're fast enough, you can kind of ignore his unit composition and kill his feudal units with your superior timing to the next stage. As long as you just play one range and keep making archers the entire time, you'll be up faster than your opponent because you're making gold units compared to food units,
Esto pronto.
and
Olá. Cortar-me bem.
going up to the next stage becomes just much easier.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Farei Entendido. Sim.
While going up, I'll get the gold upgrade, armor for my archers, and horse collar. I'll try to save this archer against the snakes. I'll just keep running away. Snake cannot catch the archer. Bring it to my home so that I can combine it with my original army.
Estou pronto. Olá.
Also, I wanted to have at least 9 villages on gold. These villages can go to farm as soon as they are done with the berries.
Sim. Entendido. As armas. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens?
And things to hit are always just gonna be
Ao seu dispor. Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens? Quais são as vossas ordens?
the wood line, the gold mine, the berries, with whatever area you can continue to hit your opponent. Crossbow, bodkin arrow, wood upgrade, that never changes. And since our opponent is playing skirmishers instead of crossbows, you actually want to add a town center immediately. The timing for adding a town center will depend on your unit's your opponent's army composition.
Esto pronto.
Sim. Sim. Ao seu dispor.
Now we kill the villagers on the wood line.
Entendido.
Get the horse wheelbarrow and town watch, always very important. Continue making archers the entire time,
Sim. Cortar madeira.
and we'll rotate to the wood lines. Always just hit the opponent's wood lines. That's the easiest way to force damage against
Quais?
your opponent when you're playing with range units.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Sim. Quais são as
Looks like there's
vossas
house
ordens?
walls. There is no place to attack from this direction, so I'll rotate to another one area.
Quais as vossas
And since I'm Portuguese, I don't really need 8 villages on gold. I can sustain my double archery ranges with only 2
Entendido.
villages, 8 villages on gold, not 7 villages on gold. Fuck,
Sim.
rather
Farei
than
Ao seu dispor.
the other way around.
Quais são as vossas
Next step,
ordens?
just to basically get to 3 town centers as fast as I
Quais
can.
são as vossas
I'll make another TC rather than going for farms.
Construir.
Ao seu dispor. Sim. Sim. Entendido. Ao seu dispor. Farei vossas ordens?
And now we want to get to 30 to 35 farms
Sim.
until we're up to the next stage.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas
This would be the only wood line he has access to because I was able to push him off these wood
Quais
lines.
são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Entendido. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Entendido.
I'll run away
Farei
from my home.
Olá, construir.
He has skirmishes on the field because I saw skirmishes in Feudal Age. So we
Make
want
3 houses.
siege workshop so that we can make a couple of mangonels.
Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Wait for 30 to 35 farms and click up to the Imperial Age. Exactly the same game plan as the last time. We are up faster than our opponent, which means our boom is up online much faster than theirs.
Olá,
We are ahead in economy because of this reason, and all we want to do is capitalize on it. He is the one who has to push us, and I saw his unit composition. It was mostly skirmishers, so we're just gonna make mangonels and wait for
olá.
Imperial Age.
Coletar. Entendido. Construir.
Every new villager goes to ward.
Construir.
I'll stop making archers when I feel like I have enough to maintain map control. And if my opponent is making counter units, I just want siege in order to sustain it to the Imperial Age.
Estou pronto. Construir. Olá. Construir. Ao seu dispor.
I can kinda push this wood line again.
Quais são avançar? Sim. Atacar. Armas. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Estou pronto. Construir. Sim. Ordens. Construir. Sim.
Armadeiro.
Entendido. Atacar. Olá. Cortar. Construir. Quais as vossas? Construir. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor.
Make 3 houses.
Sim. Construir.
Olá,
Construir. Quais são as vossas? Farei no as armas. Sim. Avançar.
construir. Construir. Estou pronto. Construir.
Estou pronto. Construir. Quais são as vossas ordens?
I can just attack this archery range.
Entendido. Ao farei no Sim. Sim. Quais são? Entendido.
Estou
Ao
pronto.
seu dispor.
Make 3 houses.
Olá. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Once I have the farm count I need, I'll put a couple of villages, 8 to 10 villages on stone,
Atacar.
and prepare myself up to go to the next stage. Start giving villages to gold as well.
Estou pronto.
Olá, construir. Minerar.
Sim. Quais as vossas ordens? Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Ao seu dispor. Sim, sim.
Maybe kind of push into his base just to see what he's up to. He wants to add his own siege. I don't really want to fight him in Castle Age at all. So we can just go up to the Imperial Age.
Sim, farei no Olá.
Coletar.
Ao seu dispor. Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Just
Sim,
run
farei
away.
no Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Quais são as vossas? Sim, farei
Hey, he's got knights and stuff as well.
Ao seu atacar. Sim, avançar. Quais são? Farei as armas. Ao seu atacar. Sim. Quais são? Ao seu dispor. Farei no Quais são? Atacar. Sim. As armas. Ao seu dispor. Atacar. Farei no Sim, sim.
Just make another mangonel.
Quais? Construir.
I'll also add the university since I didn't really need ballistics. Ballistics is only against your opponent's range gold units. Against skirmishes, you just want mangonel.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Farei no Quais são as vossas ordens?
Get the farm upgrade as well while going up to the next stage.
Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens? Avançar. Ao seu dispor. Atacar. Farei quais são as armas? Sim, sim. Ao seu dispor. Farei avançar. As armas. Quais são? Atacar. Sim, sim. As armas. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as ordens? Estou pronto.
Estou pronto.
Cortar madeira. Farei sim. Ao seu
As long as
dispor.
I can
Atacar.
maintain this mass, I don't really care about
Quais?
adding more production buildings while going up for the units I actually need. Like I have the mass I need to push him, so adding more archery ranges at this stage of the game just does nothing for me.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Mostly want ballistics and another siege workshop so that I can make bombard cannons,
Sim.
Quais
and
são
a castle so that I can make a treb.
Ao seu dispor. Olá, estou pronto.
Ok.
Sim. Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens? Olá, ao seu dispor. As armas. Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Estou pronto. Farei lo
Estou pronto.
Olá, quais as sim.
Coletar. Construir. Ao seu dispor. Atacar. Sim. Farei Loé.
Quais?
Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim.
Get these 3 technologies as always,
Olá. Construir.
and then
Quais
make a
as
castle.
vossas ordens?
Estou pronto.
If I can get the castle with my units, I'll always get it.
Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens? Estou
E
pronto.
para.
Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens? Olá, ao seu dispor. Sim.
Looks like he was able to
Ao seu dispor. Atacar.
deny my castle
Avançar.
for a little bit, but once I have Arbalest, he can't really stop my castle from going up. Because Imperial units will just destroy Castle Age units.
Sim.
And I have just basically insane amount of resources right now, so I can just do whatever I want. Start making trebs.
Ao seu dispor. Ao seu atacar. Entendido. Sim. Avançar. Entendido. Atacar. Avançar. Olá.
Construir.
Sim. As armas. Atacar.
Position my army in order to deny him resources.
Atacar.
And then start preparing myself for
Estou pronto.
the late game. Like usually the fix for the macro from this state is try to get to 50 farms while making Arbalest the entire time.
Ao seu dispor. As armas. Atacar. Quais são as armas?
I'll run away from this.
Olá. Construir.
Start preparing light cavalry.
Farei Loé. Sim.
Make 3 houses.
Estou pronto. Construir. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Avançar.
Against skirmishes, I always go light cavalry versus heavy cavalry. I'll always make halberdier from those positions. Based on whatever my opponent is making, I'll make those responses.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Estou pronto.
I can make another castle there.
Sim. Construir. Estou pronto.
Make 3 houses.
Olá.
Construir.
Ao seu dispor. Sim. Farei Loé. Atacar. Ao seu dispor. Sim. Avançar. Ao seu dispor. Quais são? Farei Loé. Avançar. Sim. Quais são as armas? Sim.
Construir.
Quais?
Estou pronto.
Construir. Construir. Ao seu dispor.
It's mostly about just trying to finish the game at this stage of the game.
Sim. Farei Loé. Sim. Construir. Estou pronto. Quais são? Sim. Ao seu dispor. Quais? Construir. Quais são? Farei Loé. Avançar. Ao seu dispor.
Yeah, GG. Once you have Arbalest, you make light cav and try to get to 200 population. Make light cav, cannons plus Arbalest. If you're against heavy cavalry, you go for halberdier. That's the other adaptation to this. I basically get ahead in the early game and I maintain it throughout like Castle Age to Imperial Age.
Hola.
I'm getting the same guy who's around 1500, so it's not that good for him because I am on a Smurf.
Why? Sí. Hola.
But now he knows that I'm going to play Mana Toms because in 2 games consecutively I have gone for Mana Toms on him. So he should be a little bit more prepared against it this time around. And we got bunnies this time, so the build order will look a little bit different. Instead of going for 20 pop, we're gonna go up on 21 population so that we can sustain our mana terms and our economy at the same time.
Estou pronto.
The scouting will become very easy on this one compared to the deer one. In the deer one, we care about moving out of our base at minute 5:30. In this one, we don't care about that. We just look for our sheeps and move out of our base by latest 3 minutes.
Why? Coleta. Esto pronto. Sin construir.
Olá, cortar madeira.
Hola. Coleta.
Looks like I found most of my sheeps and stuff. So now I can go scout my opponent.
Sim, coletar.
Esto pronto.
3 onward. Into next villager goes to the boar,
Coletar.
or the elephant in this case.
Estou pronto. Cortar madeira.
Quais?
Quais as vossas
That can be his bunnies or neutral ones. I can't tell just yet.
Quais as vossas ordens? Olá.
Olá, construir. Quais
Esto
as
pronto.
ordens?
Olá. Sim. Coleta.
Oops. Oh, that's a mistake. I definitely wanted to avoid running into his TC, but even sometimes without the information of having it scout alive, I was not paying attention to it, so I lost it.
Coletar.
Esto pronto. Olá.
But it's fine. Even without it, we're gonna do or attempt to do it exactly the same way. We're just gonna go up on 21 population, which is 20 villages, instead of the usual 19 villages.
Esto pronto. Sin. Casa.
Estou pronto. Sim,
Estou
cortar
pronto.
madeira. Sim, caçar.
Quais as vossas ordens?
Quais as
I
vossas
just wanna wait a little bit
Olá,
Sim.
sim,
until I can afford the barracks.
Esto pronto. Quais? Olá. Caçar. Esto pronto. Quais as vossas ordens? Sim.
Yeah, he wanted to block my villager, but it's fine. He ran too close to the town center.
Estou pronto. Construir. Farei-lo é caçar. Sim,
Caçar.
olá, caçar. Estou pronto.
Even without the scout, you are less likely to have some success doing the strat,
Quais
but
cortar madeira.
I'm just gonna stick to it.
Olá,
Coleta. Esto pronto.
coletar. Quais as vossas ordens? Sim, estou pronto.
Coleta.
Instead of sending villagers to the berries, this time we'll send villagers to the bunnies.
Olá,
Coleta.
coletar. Quais as
Sim.
vossas
Coleta.
ordens?
Quais as vossas
Sim.
Coleta.
We're gonna be eating our sheeps a little bit earlier than usual
Estou pronto.
so that we can get rid of these villagers under our town center.
Quais as vossas ordens?
Esto pronto. Construir.
Sim, minerar.
As soon as I have the up click, I'm gonna eat the bunnies for a little bit.
Olá.
Estou
I mean,
pronto.
eat the sheeps for a little bit and then send villagers to the
Olá,
Cortar.
bunnies.
sim, estou pronto. Quais as vossas ordens?
Esto pronto. Olá. Coleta. Quais
Sim,
as vossas ordens?
minerar. Olá.
Coletar.
Sim, coletar. Quais as vossas ordens? Estou pronto. Quais
Cortar
as
madeira.
vossas
Olá,
ordens?
caçar. Quais caçar?
Estou pronto.
Caçar.
Estou pronta. Sim. Quais as vossas ordens? Construir.
Sim,
And the next step is actually to go for a mill on the berries as well
avançar.
before I send villagers to make the archery range.
Sim. Construir.
Sim.
Quais são as vossas
He's up to the next stage, which is fine.
Construir. Construir.
Sim.
I'm just gonna try to hit whatever I can.
Estou pronto. Olá. Construir.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Sim. As armas. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Farei lo é. Sim. Entendido. Farei lo é.
Annoying leopard.
Quais as
Caçar,
Ao
caçar.
seu dispor. Sim.
Get the maritime
Quais são
upgrade.
as vossas
Entendido.
ordens?
And then
Sim.
try to harass his villagers.
Sim, ao seu dispor. Farei lo é. Sim. Sim. Farei lo é. Entendido.
Sim. Construir. Estou
Make
pronto.
two
Quais são as
farms.
vossas ordens? Avançar. Entendido. Atacar. As armas. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Avançar. Sim. Atacar. Ao seu dispor. Sim. Quais são as
Try to
vossas
kill the
ordens? Sim.
scout.
Vossas
Try
ordens?
to kill the villager.
Avançar. Atacar. Sim. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Estou pronto. Quais?
Make the archery range.
As armas. Sim. Farei ao seu dispor. Sim. Entendido. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Olá.
Entendido. Sim.
Coletar.
Atacar. As armas. Quais?
Farei
Ao
ao
seu
seu
dispor.
dispor.
Avançar. Sim. Farei quais são as vossas ordens? Farei ao seu entendido.
I'll
As
try to
armas.
get on the hill
Quais
and
são
attack
as
that
vossas
villager.
ordens? Quais são as vossas
Sim,
ordens? Avançar. Ao seu dispor. Farei
Quais
quais
são
são
as
as vossas ordens?
Olá. Caçar.
Sim, ao
caçar.
seu dispor. Atacar. As armas. Estou pronto.
Construir.
Sim.
Construir.
Avançar. Atacar. Avançar. Estou pronto.
Sim.
Olá.
Construir.
Construir.
Quais
Get the
são
word
as
upgrade.
vossas ordens?
And
Quais as vossas ordens?
kind of the same.
Olá.
Construir. Quais? Construir.
Quais
Construir.
as vossas ordens? Sim. Farei lo é.
Construir. Olá. Coletar.
Estou
And the
pronto.
big difference with this build order would be to go for 6 on berries after you're done with your initial mill. Once my archery range is up, I'll start queuing up
Coletar.
spear and archers until I have 3 spears. Not 3 spears, 3 archers, and then I'll move out to the next, move out to his base.
Construir. Cortar
Quais as
madeira.
vossas ordens?
Construir. Cortar
Sim.
madeira. Olá.
Ele é.
Construir.
Ao seu dispor.
Quais as vossas ordens?
Sim.
Construir. Cortar madeira.
Try to wall up a little bit.
Estou pronto.
Construir.
Quais as
Construir.
vossas ordens?
Construir.
Sim.
Cortar
Farei
madeira.
lo é. Entendido.
The only area which
Quais
is
as vossas
open is this one.
ordens?
Construir. Construir.
Sim.
Construir.
Estou pronto.
Cortar madeira.
Estou pronto. Sim. Coletar.
Also, you don't need horse collar,
Olá.
Estou pronto.
so
Olá.
the build is like pretty straightforward for that. I have 3 archers now, so time to move out, get fletching,
Sim.
and then the area to hit is either the woodline or
Ao
the
seu
berries.
dispor. Entendido.
Since he wants to play food units, I'll attack the berries.
Quais as vossas ordens?
Cortar madeira.
Estou pronto. Construir.
Estou pronto.
Construir.
And now we want 16 farms to click up to the next stage.
Quais as vossas ordens?
Olá.
Sim.
Cortar madeira.
Quais as vossas
Construir.
ordens? Estou pronto.
Olá.
Olá.
Minerar. Cortar madeira.
Estou pronto. Quais as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor.
As armas.
Quais são as
Atacar.
vossas
Sim, farei
ordens?
lo é.
Sim.
Construir.
Sim.
12 farms, a couple more remaining.
Vossas ordens? Estou ao seu dispor. Sim. Quais são as farei lo é. Ao seu dispor. Farei lo
I
é.
already killed a bunch of villagers, but it's fine.
Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens? Farei lo é. Quais? Sim. Ao seu dispor. Entendido. Sim. Quais? Construir ordens? Estou pronto. Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Looks like he abandoned the berry, so we'll try to attack the other area. He's got scums,
Sim.
so just run away to the edge of the map. Buy time.
Sim. Construir. Ao seu
That's
dispor.
16
Quais
farms.
são as vossas ordens? Farei-lo-ei. Sim. Entendido. Quais são
Farei
as armas?
lo-ei.
Ao seu dispor.
Avançar.
Farei-lo-ei. Sim. Sim. Entendido.
And then I'll run away.
Olá. Minerar. Quais são as vossas
I
ordens?
was able to make a loop, and even if my army dies, it's not the biggest deal. But if you can save the army, that's all the better.
Esto pronto. Construir.
Sim.
Sim. Sim.
Ao seu
Construir.
dispor.
Now we're up.
Quais as vossas
Estou pronto.
ordens?
Construir.
Olá. Construir.
I'll refresh the first lumber camp.
Olá.
Entendido. Minerar. Sim.
Construir. Quais são as vossas ordens? Quais as vossas ordens? Sim. Coletar. Ao seu dispor.
Quais as vossas armadeiras?
Olá. Farei-lo. Estou pronto. Quais as vossas ordens? Sim. Entendido. Sim. Cortar quais as vossas
Estou
ordens?
pronto.
Ao seu dispor. Sim.
Olá.
Well, now going up.
Construir.
Second range.
Olá. Quais são as ordens?
Armor. Gold upgrade.
Atacar! Sim. As armas. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Coletar.
Ao seu dispor.
Just abandon the berries for a little bit.
Quais são as vossas
He's stuck in Feudal Age, kind of.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. As armas. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Farei-lo-ei. Quais ao seu dispor? Farei-lo-ei. Sim.
I don't really have to force a fight until my upgrades are in. Just continue massing archers inside my archery range.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Estou pronto. Farei-lo-ei. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Coletar.
Ao seu dispor. Quais são as as armas? Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Farei-lo-ei. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Farei-lo-ei. Ao seu armas. Quais são
Just micro, like, try to wait for the upgrades. Once you have Bodkin arrow and crossbow, it's pretty easy to kill any feudal army you want.
Quais são
And since, again, the reasoning is very much the same on if you see your opponent making skirmishers, you don't really need to go for ballistics.
Sim. Ao seu
Go for the wheelbarrow
Quais são as vossas ordens?
and
Sim.
town watch when I can afford it.
Make 3 houses.
Coletar. Olá.
Oops.
Sim. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as
Sim. Farei-lo. Entendido. Olá.
Ao seu avançar. Quais são atacar? Sim. Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Estou pronto. Sim.
I lost a couple of villages. That was a good move from him.
Sim.
I was not expecting him to attack my villages, making the town center at this second.
Ao seu quais são as vossas armas? Sim. Avançar. Sim. Ao seu dispor. Sim. Farei-lo-ei. Quais são as armas? Sim.
But my strategy doesn't really change based on what he's doing. I'll still try to just attack him. I'll make another TC on this side.
Quais são atacar? Estou pronto. Construir. Sim. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor.
My thinking is I'll do more damage to him than he can do to me.
Quais são as armas?
Even if I am not killing any villages, I'm idling a lot of his economy right now.
Farei-lo-ei.
And then same thing. Always just kill their farms if you can get inside their base.
Quais as vossas ordens? Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Olá.
Make 3 houses.
strategy from this state is gonna be very similar.
Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Quais as vossas ordens?
We just want siege in order to defend against the skirmishes, because the game is kinda
Ao seu dispor.
going to turn out in the same way again.
Entendido.
I'll make the siege workshop somewhere in the middle of my map,
Olá. Coletar.
just to have more
Entendido.
map presence.
Sim. As armas. Entendido. Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Quais são atacar? As ordens? Sim. Entendido. As armas.
He doesn't have armor, so I can micro and kill a couple of his skirmishers.
Atacar. Entendido. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as armas? Sim. Atacar. Ao seu dispor. As armas. Entendido.
While all of that is happening,
Sim.
continue making.
Sim. Avançar. Ao seu dispor. Quais são atacar? Sim. Avançar. Quais são ao seu dispor? Quais são as armas? Ao seu dispor. Farei atacar. Sim. As armas. Quais são as vossas ordens? Atacar.
Crossbow
Estou
and
pronto. Construir.
villages.
Sim. Avançar.
Sim, construir.
Ao seu dispor. Farei atacar. Avançar. Atacar. As armas. Olá. Quais? Construir. Ordens.
Estou pronto.
Quais são as ordens? Construir. Estou pronto. Sim. Quais?
We just want.
Construir. Ao seu dispor.
Make
If he
3
doesn't have
houses.
armor for his elite skirmishes, even crossbows trade okay. Even if I lost all my army over there, I'm completely fine with it, because
Construir.
I'm just waiting for the next stage.
Construir. Quais são avançar. Atacar. Sim. As armas. Ao seu dispor. Sim. Quais são as vossas farei entendido. Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Atacar. Sim. Avançar. Farei atacar. Sim. As armas. Entendido. Olá. Ao seu dispor. Atacar. Avançar.
Estou pronto. Construir. Construir. Construir.
As armas. Quais são as vossas? Sim. Entendido. Sim. Quais são ao seu dispor? Farei entendido. Farei construir. Quais? Construir. Quais são as vossas? Ao seu dispor. Sim. Farei entendido. Sim. Ao seu dispor. Estou pronto. Sim.
As long as I can maintain my
Olá.
range unit mass, I don't need extra production.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
I can add a mangonel. And we're getting close to our 30 farm count.
Construir. Sim. Atacar. Quais são as vossas?
He's making cav archers. Against that, I do need ballistics, because he's gonna start using ranged gold units. Against that, you always need ballistics, so that you can kill them in a equal unit situation.
Sim, farei dispor. Entendido. Avançar. Farei as armas. Quais são as avançar. Ao seu dispor. Atacar. Quais são as armas? Farei avançar. Ao seu dispor. Atacar. Farei Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. As armas. Sim.
Now we're ready to click up to the next stage.
Atacar. Entendido. As armas. Sim. Avançar. As armas. Entendido.
I'll just always be annoying by killing their farms.
As armas. Atacar. Sim, sim. Ao seu dispor. Farei quais são as vossas ordens?
Run away when there's mangonels.
Estou pronto. Construir.
Olá.
Or
Construir.
9-10 villages on stone, and then get ready to click up to the Imperial Age.
Ao seu dispor. Entendido. Estou pronto. Quais? Construir ordens?
Construir.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Estou pronto. Sim.
Similar pattern for basically every stage of the game.
Ao seu dispor. Sim.
Get the armor,
Quais são as vossas
get
ordens?
ballistics.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim.
So this time I don't really have that much mass left, so I want to add extra ranges.
As armas. Quais são? Atacar. Ao seu dispor. Sim. As armas. Quais são as vossas ordens? Quais são as vossas ordens? Quais são as vossas ordens? Estou ao seu dispor.
Just trying to run away to my base now.
Sim. Farei
Get my technologies on the way up.
Quais são as
Stone upgrade is also pretty useful.
Sim. Construir. Estou pronto.
Sim. Cortar madeira. Sim. ao seu dispor.
And the farm upgrade.
Sim, ao seu dispor. Vai construir as ordens. Quais são? Avançar. Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim, atacar. Quais são as armas? Ao seu dispor. Quais são? Atacar. Ao seu dispor. Sim. Farei moer.
Just run away until I'm Imperial.
Quais são?
I'll make another mangonel just in case this one dies. I can technically kill everything, but I don't want to rely too much on micro.
Sim. Farei moer. Ao seu dispor. Entendido. Quais as vossas ordens? Quais são? Farei moer. Sim.
Make 3 houses.
Olá. Construir. Ao seu dispor. Quais são? Entendido. Vossas ordens? Sim. Farei moer. Quais são? Vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Sim. Avançar. Quais farei moer? Ao seu atacar. Quais são? Entendido. Sim. As armas. Ao seu
Just run away from this army until my upgrades are done.
Sim. Avançar. Ao seu atacar. Estou pronto. Avançar. Atacar. Farei
And use my range to kill his units.
Ao seu armas. Entendido. Quais são? Avançar. Ao seu quais são? Ao seu atacar. Sim. Entendido. Ao seu farei quais são? Sim.
And that's game. GG. It's still on 1 TC. And we were able to macro our way up to the next stage. 43 to 102 villages. It's mostly just setting your economy up to go to the next stage is the difficult part. Most people get the build order and then do not get the macro behind it. You want to have the macro to be able to sustain every single step to the next stage. For our macro loop in this one, we mostly just are concerned about going for crossbow, then going for mangonel, get to 30 to 35 farms and click up to the Imperial Age. That's always going to be our same macro loop. 4 legs. I'm not really gonna play this map, so we're gonna skip it. The water and the hybrid stuff is a bit different. Like 4 legs is technically a hybrid map, and the meta over there is a bit different. So we're gonna just stick to our original game plan. Like the build becomes very much the same, but the transitions for skirmishers and archers is a little bit different. Archers, you usually are only making when you know what your opponent is going for. If you see skirmisher defense or archer defense from your opponent, you want to go for skirmishers. Like in all 3 of the games I played, my opponent went for scout, so Manatam Archer is actually the correct play there. If you look at my Manatam Archer flowchart, you can see that at high level, Manatam Skirmisher is much more prevalent compared to what I'm showcasing over here with Manatam Archers. So I'm gonna base my opening on my follow-ups and my macro setup on what my opponent is doing. I have to pay a little bit more attention on his map and stuff, but at the end of the day, it all comes down to the same timings and everything. Portuguese versus Slavs. Usually you don't really see any range units from Slavs in their opening. Slav likes to play their scout rush.
Hola. Sí.
Bunny map, so we're gonna go up on 21 again.
Esto pronto.
Had to lock in my screen because after you close your game, if you have a second monitor or something like that, the
Hola.
scrolling to the edge of the screen kinda messes it up.
Guay. Esto pronto.
Estou pronto. Construir.
I found all my resources. Time to go scout my opponent. This time, hopefully, do not lose my scout. Bunnies are over here. These should be the extra bunnies, though.
Guay. Esto pronto.
4 tile gold. So my enemy is over here
Hola.
or near this area. Flat ground, so he's definitely on this side of the map.
Guay. Sí. Hola. Esto pronto. Guay. Irme.
Found his word.
Esto pronto. Sim. Sim. Hola. Entendido. Esto pronto. Coleta. Guay. Finalizing. Sim.
Gonna make a house, collect the berry because my enemy is on this side,
Esto pronto. Sim. Coleta.
and then make the barracks when I have the word. And then just keep making circles around his base to keep scouting.
Hola. Sim.
Quais as
Olá.
vossas ordens?
Did he lame me? Not sure. I knew my second board is hiding on this. Oh, yeah, there it is. I was like not sure if he lamed me or not.
Quais as vossas
This is a mistake. Should have gone for
Quais as vossas ordens?
the word with splitting my villages, but it's okay.
Estou pronto. Ir-me-ei. Olá. Caçar. Estou pronto. Quais as vossas ordens? Sim. Farei-lo. Caçar. Olá.
Sim. Hola.
Caçar. Estou pronto.
Let's see if he'll attack that villager.
Ir-me.
He will.
Cortar. Cortar. Cortar madeira.
I was waiting for him to
Hola.
maybe consider it. If he has a full HP scout, a full HP scout can take down a villager.
Esto pronto. Construir.
As soon as the barracks is up, I want to make a house so that I don't get housed. And remember, whenever we have bunnies, we don't really have the food income to sustain our production.
Hola.
I'll start splitting villages to the sheeps and click upon 21 population.
Guay. Esto pronto.
He's doing something similar to me,
Cortar madeira. Sim.
constantly scouting. And we're gonna
Sim.
send villages to gold.
Sim. Hola.
Construir.
Esto pronto.
Quais? Cortar madeira. Ordem. Olá. Coletar.
Put villages on word.
Guay. Coleta.
Sim. Cortar madeira. Quais? Cortar madeira. Ordem.
Looks like he also wants to play mana toms.
Sim.
Coletar.
Hola. Construir. Esto pronto. Coleta. Coleta. Sim. Esto pronto.
Olá.
Quais as
Cortar
vossas
madeira.
ordens? Olá. Construir. Quais as vossas ordens? Ir-me-ei. Cortar madeira.
As soon as I have the third militia, I'll move out.
Olá. Cortar madeira.
Estou pronto.
Construir.
Ao seu dispor. Sim, às
Avançar.
armas. Olá.
Next step,
Estou pronta.
Quais são as vossas
get to 2 farms
Quais? Estou pronto. Construir.
Sim. Olá.
and 6 sunberries.
Estou pronto. Sim.
Sim. Ao seu dispor.
Atacar. Avançar.
Quais são as vossas
Sim.
ordens? Sim, entendido. Ao seu dispor.
Atacar.
Quais são as
Ao
vossas
seu
ordens?
dispor.
Sim. Quais são
Atacar.
as vossas
Sim.
ordens?
Avançar.
Quais são as vossas
Ao
ordens?
seu dispor.
Sim, entendido.
Ao seu
Farei
dispor.
Quais são as vossas
Sim,
ordens?
entendido.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas
As armas.
ordens?
Ao seu
Farei
dispor. Sim. Atacar.
Ao seu
Entendido.
dispor. Quais são as
Farei
vossas ordens?
Olá.
Ao seu dispor.
Sim, entendido.
Quais
Sim.
são as vossas ordens?
Avançar.
Ao seu
Atacar.
dispor.
Avançar.
Quais são as
Farei
vossas
He
ordens?
doesn't have a scout.
Estou pronto. Construir.
As soon as I have that 6th villager on the way, make the archery range.
Quais? Construir.
Quais são as
Ao seu
vossas
dispor.
ordens?
Sim. As armas.
Quais são as
Avançar. As
vossas
armas.
ordens? Quais são as
Avançar.
vossas ordens?
Sim. Atacar.
Ao seu dispor. Quais são as
Avançar.
vossas ordens?
Sim. Atacar.
Farei
Entendido.
I have 1 mana tom alive.
Farei
It's fine. I'll use the scout to scout
Quais são as vossas
Entendido.
ordens?
and I'll
Farei Luei.
wait for the archer.
Estou pronto. Construir. Construir. Coletar.
Olá. Sim.
While all of that is happening, my archery range is up.
Olá.
I'll get the wood upgrade
Ao seu dispor.
and then I'll start making archers
Estou pronto. Construir.
and start slowly walling up as well.
Quais minerais ordens? Estou pronto.
Quais as ordens?
Sim. As armas. Entendido.
Make some scouting happen with this mana tom. See what he's making. If he's making skirmishers or archers, which unit composition he wants to go for. Looks like he wants to play archers.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Ao seu dispor.
I'll
Entendido.
just run away.
Farei Luei. Sim. Estou pronto. Construir. Coletar.
Sim.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Ao seu dispor. Entendido.
Olá. Caçar. Construir. 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 Quais? Construir. Sim. Caçar.
Sim.
Sim. Quais as vossas ordens? Olá. Construir.
Now we go for 16 farms.
Quais são as
Farei
vossas
Luei.
ordens?
Sim.
Wait for fletching before I attack his archers.
Farei
But I have
Quais são
3 archers compared to his
Atacar. Sim. Entendido.
2.
As armas.
I can get that 1 kill for free.
Ao seu
Farei
As
Luei.
armas.
Olá. Construir.
I'll slowly continue to wall up.
Estou pronto. Cortar
Sim.
madeira. Olá. Construir. Construir.
Quais são as
Construir.
vossas ordens?
Sim. Construir.
Ao seu
Quais
dispor.
são as vossas ordens?
Estou pronto.
Make farms with those
Sim.
villages.
Avançar. Ao seu dispor. Sim. Entendido. Atacar.
Quais são as vossas
Sim.
ordens?
Ao seu dispor. As armas.
Olá. Construir.
Quais
Construir.
são as vossas ordens?
Looks like he's making skirmishes, so
Quais
I
são as vossas
don't really want to fight him.
Sim.
Just go inside my base.
Estou pronto. Construir. Olá. Construir. Construir.
Quais são as
Ao seu
vossas
dispor.
ordens?
Entendido. Sim. Sim.
Quais são
Farei
as
Luei.
vossas
Sim.
ordens?
Entendido.
Just run away and hide
As vossas ordens? Construir.
Ao seu dispor. Avançar.
Quais são as
and wait till
ordens?
Castle Age.
Farei
Estou
Luei.
pronto. Construir.
Quais são as
Entendido.
vossas ordens?
11 farms,
Construir.
12 farms, 13
Ao
farms.
seu dispor. Farei Luei. Sim.
Estou pronto. Construir. Construir. Quais? Construir. Construir. Sim. Construir.
Sim.
Estou
Entendido.
pronto. Construir.
14,
Avançar.
Quais?
15,
Construir. Cortar madeira. Quais são as
Atacar.
vossas ordens? Olá. Ao seu dispor.
16.
Quais são as vossas
Estou
ordens?
pronto. Sim. 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 As armas.
Avançar.
Away.
Olá.
Quais?
Construir as vossas ordens?
To attack that area.
Ao seu dispor. Entendido.
And we're up to the next stage.
Sim. Sim.
Olá.
Construir
Estou
quais
pronto.
são as
Sim.
vossas
Farei
ordens?
away.
So the correct play from this situation is to make knights, but we're up so much faster than our opponent because he made food units. I can just make double archery range crossbows,
Quais são
and instead of adding ballistics, which I can go for in this situation because I'm up so much faster, I'll actually get value with ballistics. I'll add a TC instead.
Sim. Sim. Construir. Cortar madeira. Construir.
Sim. Sim.
Quais são as
Entendido.
vossas ordens?
Ao farei away. Sim. Entendido. As armas.
Sim. Olá.
Olá. Cortar
Quais?
madeira.
Sim. Construir. Coletar.
Estou
Coletar.
Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Quais?
As vossas
Olá.
ordens? Construir.
Coletar.
While going up, get the gold upgrade, farm upgrade, armor for your archers. I'll just like keeping one palisade whole if possible,
Quais farei away.
just to make it difficult for our opponent to get inside my base.
Sim.
Then I'll move out.
As armas. Sim.
I wanna attack his wood line most of the time, so
Quais são as
this might be the area I can pressure, or if he's open from this area. But this is very easy to wall, so I'll attack from this direction.
Entendido.
Crossbow bot can wood upgrade, and then add a TC immediately whenever I can afford it.
Estou pronto.
Quais são as vossas
Ao seu
ordens?
dispor.
Next step is to get wheelbarrow and town watch whenever I can afford it, of course.
Vossas ordens? Cortar madeira.
Sim.
Sim.
And since I'm floating a little bit of gold,
São as vossas
I'm
ordens?
going to continue making crossbows, of course.
Sim. Ao seu dispor.
Sim. Quais são as
Entendido.
vossas
Sim.
ordens? Quais são
Try
as
to get
vossas
in.
Ao
ordens?
seu dispor.
He knows I'm here if he's paying
Farei
attention.
away.
Quais são as vossas
Atacar.
ordens?
Ao seu
Get
dispor.
wheelbarrow.
Sim.
Quais são as vossas
Sim.
ordens?
Ao seu dispor.
If I can find damage, I'll try to do damage. If not, I'll run away.
Ao seu dispor. As armas. Farei away.
He doesn't have elite skirmisher just yet, so I wanna fight him before he can get his upgrades.
Entendido. As armas. Sim. Avançar.
Quais são as
So let's
vossas
kill villagers.
Ao seu dispor. Atacar.
Quais são as
Avançar.
vossas ordens?
As armas. Ao
Entendido.
seu dispor. Avançar. Atacar.
Quais são
As
as
armas.
vossas
Sim.
ordens?
Atacar.
If he doesn't have the numbers, I can just kill him.
Avançar.
Quais são as
As
vossas
armas. Ao
ordens?
seu dispor. Avançar. Sim. Atacar.
Quais são as
Entendido.
vossas
Farei
ordens?
away.
Estou pronto.
That's smart from him. He got the armor, but
As armas.
he doesn't have the numbers.
Sim. Construir. Estou
Quais
pronto.
são as
Atacar. Ao
vossas
seu
ordens?
dispor.
I just wanna kill the villagers now.
Vossas ordens?
Sim. Entendido. Sim. As armas.
Quais são as
Atacar.
vossas
Farei
ordens?
away. Avançar. Ao seu dispor. Farei away.
Olá. Construir.
Sim.
Olá.
Sim. Atacar.
Quais são as
As
vossas
armas. Ao
ordens?
seu dispor. Avançar. Sim. Atacar.
Quais são as
As armas.
vossas
Sim.
ordens?
Atacar. Ao seu dispor. As armas. Sim. Farei away.
Quais são as vossas
Ao seu
ordens?
dispor.
Quais são as
As
vossas
armas.
ordens?
Atacar. Farei
Sim.
away. As armas. Entendido. Atacar. Ao seu dispor.
Just
Avançar.
keep killing villagers. Ignore the skirmishers.
Sim. As armas. Sim. Entendido.
Quais são as vossas
Atacar.
ordens?
Ao seu dispor. Sim. Sim. Avançar.
Olá. Construir.
Quais são as vossas
Entendido.
ordens?
As armas. Farei away. Avançar. As armas. Farei away. Atacar. Quais?
And then, since I have this much lead,
Entendido.
I'll just make Smanganal
Cortar madeira.
and 35 farms and click up to the Imperial Age. The damage is done. The game is kinda over because of the amount of villages I was able to kill. And now we just wait for Imperial Age. Keep making crossbows.
Avançar.
Olá. Construir.
while setting up our macro for going up.
Oleta. Quais as vossas ordens?
Quais são atacar? Estou pronto. Construir. Sim. Quais? Coletar. Ao seu
I have the mass I need in order to defend against most of the enemy stuff.
Construir. Construir. Quais? Construir.
Estou pronto. Construir. Olá. Construir. Quais? As vossas ordens?
Estou pronto.
28. I just need a couple more farms.
Olá. Construir. Estou pronto. Sim. Construir.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Atacar.
Quais? Construir.
Sim. Construir. Estou pronto.
Construir.
Sim. Cortar madeira. Construir. Ao seu dispor. Farei no way. Sim, entendido. Quais?
Looks like we have the farms we need. I'll start putting a couple of villages to stone and gold so that I can get the economy I need
Sim.
to go up to the next stage, get handcart.
Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim, sim. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim.
Estou pronto.
Second building. In this case, we can make a university
Entendido.
and a monastery
Quais?
just to pick up relics and stuff.
Sim.
Olá.
Ao
Construir.
seu dispor.
And this should be enough.
Construir. Quais as vossas ordens?
Cortar madeira. Construir.
Olá.
Quais? As vossas
Estou
ordens?
pronto.
Sim.
Quais?
Sim. Minerar.
That's
Quais são
enough.
as vossas ordens? Estou pronto.
Also need the farm upgrade.
Sim. As armas.
And the stone upgrade.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Most of the time in the early castlage, if you're able to do damage, that's more than enough.
Sim. As armas.
He wants to take that relic from under me, but I don't really care about that.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Farei no way. Sim.
Make another
Atacar.
mangonel.
Ao seu dispor. Sim. Quais são?
Get the armor for my crossbows. Thumbring. Make more crossbows while going up.
Quais? Estou pronto. Quais são as vossas ordens? Entendido. Olá. Coletar. Sim. Olá. Coletar. Sim. Farei.
And cannons are also pretty good at killing skirmishers,
Construir. Ao seu
so
dispor.
going for them is pretty useful.
Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Get ballistics.
Ao seu dispor. Atacar. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Farei no way.
Quais as vossas ordens?
Ao seu
Construir.
dispor. Quais as vossas
Make a
ordens?
castle.
Construir. Estou pronto.
Construir.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Sim. Quais? Ao seu Farei no way. Sim. Estou pronto. As armas. Sim. Sim. Quais são? Avançar. Construir. Ao seu dispor. Sim. Atacar.
And that's GG. He knows like he can't really stop my Imperial timing and everything. He was on 3 town centers himself, but I got to my 3 town centers much faster than he was on his 3 TCs. And that's 1600. Until 1700, I don't really need to cut my build order at all. I can just reliably continue to play mana terms with either 20 or 21 population based on if it's a deer map or a chicken map or a bunny map. Vikings for him.
Sin construir.
Sim, construir.
Olá.
Ir-me-ei. Farei-lo-ei.
Vikings is also a pretty good civilization to play this style. The only big thing with Vikings is your late game is kind of not as flexible because you don't have access to the best cavalry units, or having access to gunpowder can put you in some tough situations if you do not properly utilize their advantages in the early game.
Estou pronto. Construir. Olá. Coletar.
Sin.
Chicken map, 21 pop, kind of straightforward.
Quais
If you're trading the mana towns, it's a little bit more adaptation in this stage of the game. We will make the archery range earlier than required,
Coleta.
because if he counter attacks, we want the range units out as fast as possible to push his mana towns away.
Olá.
So at this stage, knowing when to go for the archery range as early or late as possible is going to start playing a factor.
Quais as vossas ordens?
Olá.
Estou
Coleta.
pronto.
Estou pronto. Quais as vossas ordens?
Time to go scout our opponent.
Quais as
Estou
vossas
pronto.
ordens?
Sin. Sin. Olá. Farei-lo. Sin. Sin. Quais as vossas entendido?
Sim.
Estou pronto. Olá. Estou pronto.
Estou pronto.
Sin. Construir. Quais?
Olá. Caçar.
I'll make that house there and collect 10 wood.
Quais?
By the time I'm done collecting the 10 wood, I'll have the wood income I need for clicking up to the next stage. Making the barracks, not clicking up. Messed up.
Sin.
With the sheep, I thought I shift collected.
Sim.
Olá.
I survived with the scout, but
Olá.
Estou pronto.
Estou pronto.
still lost a lot of his HP.
Caçar. Olá. Caçar. Quais? Estou pronto. Ordens.
Olá. Construir.
Quais as vossas ordens? Sim. Entendi. Caçar. Sim. Estou pronto.
Sin. Caçar.
Olá. Farei-lo. Estou pronto. Sim. Quais? Caçar. Vossas
Olá.
ordens?
Caçar. Quais as vossas ordens? Construir. Construir. Sin. Construir. Cortar madeira.
Same as usual. 21 pop up.
Estou pronto.
Coletar.
Sin. Coletar. Quais as vossas ordens?
Olá.
Coletar. Estou pronto.
Quais as vossas ordens?
Sin.
Coletar.
Last villager goes to gold.
pronto. Coletare. Olá. Construir.
As soon as you click up,
Quais?
send villages
Coletare.
to word
Coletare.
and gold
Estou pronto. Coletar.
and chicken.
Sim. Coletar. Olá. Coletar. Quais? Sim. Cortar. Coletar. Quais? As vossas ordens. Estou pronto.
When your opponent is also making militia, you can just camp his barracks in order to
Caçar.
see the movement.
Quais? As vossas
Estou
ordens.
pronto. Sim. Cortar madeira.
Olá. Estou pronto. Cortar madeira.
Quais as suas ordens?
Quais? As vossas ordens. Construir. Cortar madeira. Caçar.
Olá. Sim. Estou pronto. Construir.
Olá.
Sim.
Avançar. Quais são as armas? Sim. Atacar. Estou pronto.
Estou pronto. Construir.
Sim.
He's up
Quais
slightly
são as
faster.
vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas
He has
ordens?
more HP on his militia, but I don't really care.
Quais
I'll
são
just run
as
away.
vossas ordens?
Olá. Construir.
Olá. Ao seu dispor. As armas. Quais? Estou pronto. Sim.
Wall my villages in.
Olá. Construir.
Quais as vossas ordens? Construir. Cortar.
Quais? Cortar
Sim.
madeira.
Quais?
Ordens.
Construir. Construir. Construir.
Sim. Caçar.
Run away
Dispor. Atacar. Quais são as
from the chicken if I need to.
Quais? As vossas ordens? Quais são as vossas ordens? Olá. Estou pronto.
Estou pronto. Sim.
Ir-me-ei.
Quais as suas
Caçar. Estou
Quais?
ao seu dispor. Sim. Entendi. Quais? Construir.
Estou pronto.
Olá. Ao seu dispor. As armas. Atacar.
Coletar.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim.
Most of it came down to
Quais são as vossas ordens?
me just quick walling my stuff out.
Estou pronto.
Ao seu
Construir.
dispor. Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Sim.
Quais? Olá.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Estou pronto. Construir.
Finalizing.
Quais são as vossas
This stage, I really need to make sure I can sustain villager production, and as soon as I have the farming eco,
Ao seu dispor. Ao seu dispor.
I will start saving up
Sim. Estou
the
pronto.
wood income
Sim. Sim.
I need for making the archery range.
Sim.
Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Sim. As armas.
Quais?
Ao seu
Construir.
dispor. Sim. Atacar. Quais são as vossas ordens? Quais são as armas? Ao seu dispor. Quais? Estou pronto. Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Estou pronto.
Ao seu dispor. Entendi. Ao seu dispor. Away.
He's losing his mana terms.
Estou pronto. Quais são as vossas ordens? Atacar. Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens? Olá. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Quais? Construir. Construir.
This mostly came down to multitasking.
Quais? Estou pronto. Construir. Olá. Quais? Sim. As ordens?
Olá.
Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Sim. Cortar.
Ao seu dispor.
Quais?
Quais? As vossas ordens? Quais são?
Send villages to these chickens just to saturate them.
Ao seu dispor. Sim. Entendido.
Sim.
Olá. Quais são as vossas ordens? Quais são as vossas ordens? Atacar. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Entendido. As armas.
Estou pronto. Construir. Construir. Coletar.
Estou pronto. Construir. Construir. Quais as vossas Estou pronto. Construir. Construir. Construir.
Think I can start
Estou pronto. Mineral.
setting up my walls.
Construir. Construir. Olá. Construir.
And prepare to go up to the next stage.
Sim. Construir. Construir.
Sim, farei no way. Avançar. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Olá. Estou pronto.
Got the wood upgrade, which is
Sim,
pretty
cortar
bad.
madeira. Olá.
I'll just right click constantly in order to make sure he can't block me.
Coletar.
Quais as vossas minerais?
Sim, entendi. Quais são as vossas ordens? Minerar. Construir. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Avançar. Ao seu dispor. Sim. Farei no way. Quais são as vossas ordens? Farei no way. Quais são as vossas ordens? Atacar. Ao seu dispor. Farei no way. Quais são as
Get myself walled up.
Sim.
Sim.
Ao seu dispor. Farei no way. Avançar. Quais são as vossas Estou pronto. Construir. Sim. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Farei no way. Construir. Construir. Minerar.
Olá. Construir.
Olá. Construir. Sim. Cortar madeira. Estou olá. Construir. Quais as construir ordens? Sim. Farei no way. Sim.
My wood line is starting to
Quais
not be the most efficient. This time I did go for farms a little bit earlier so I can sustain
Quais são as vossas ordens? Estou pronto.
my villager production and my uptime very easily. So I'll start redistributing villages to the second lumber camp much faster.
Olá. Cortar madeira.
Estou pronto.
Sim.
Cortar. Construir. Cortar.
Ao seu dispor. Entendido. Sim. Farei no way. Ao seu dispor. Sim. Quais são atacar? Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Sim. Estou pronto.
Then click up to the next stage.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Farei no way. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Farei no way.
Now I can move out to attack because I managed to kill a couple of his units if he's playing skirmishers.
Cortar madeira.
I'll just boom and make siege.
Sim. Ao seu dispor.
If I want to go for a kill on him, I'll mix knights, but while going up the second building, usually you can always just make the second archery range
As armas. Quais são as vossas ordens?
to have it be very easy to understand.
Atacar. Sim. Entendi.
Yeah, the gold upgrade, armor, and
Ao
the
seu dispor. Entendi. Avançar.
horse color
Ao seu
upgrade.
dispor. Sim. As armas. Farei no way. Sim. Atacar. Quais são as vossas ordens? Farei no way. Avançar. Ao seu Farei no way. Sim. As armas.
Estou pronto. Cortar.
Ao seu dispor. Entendido. Quais as vossas ordens? Estou pronto. Quais são as vossas ordens? Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Entendido. Sim. Farei no way. Ao seu dispor.
Just go back to my base.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Sim.
And most of the time, because of the build order, I'm up faster than my opponents.
Ao seu dispor. Farei no way. Sim. Entendido. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Farei no way.
Olá. Construir.
Cara,
Estou
TC.
pronto.
Sim. Avançar. Entendido. Quais são as vossas
Farei
ordens?
no way.
Entendido. Farei no
Move
way. Ao
on
seu
because
dispor. Atacar. Entendido. Quais são as vossas ao seu dispor? Quais são avançar? Sim. As armas. Farei no way.
if you have a hole like this, you'll always just
Atacar. Farei no way.
let your opponents get inside their base. Four licks. Time to Dodge it. $16.30. It'll take me a couple more games until I'm 1700. Looks like I'm stuck playing against someone who is starring 4 legs. So I'm gonna wait a little bit more. This does give you a bit of a ban, but it should not take more than 2.5 minutes. I can make a skip in the recording in case there is a long wait time for the ban, because if you do this repeatedly, you get banned. Maybe I'll ban 4 legs and open migration, because migration is more than likely to be banned. Okay, I did not get banned for now. Finally, Arabia. Cumans.
Esto pronto.
Olá, construir.
Hola.
Coletar. Uai, coletar. Estou pronto. Coletar. Sim,
Coleta.
estou pronto.
Cuman most of the time wants to go for 2 town centers, but even if he does go for something like that, the big way of punishing it is by just pushing him in early castle age and not letting him get to use his boom correctly.
Olá, sim, coletar.
Pushing him might involve siege pushing him if he is playing very campy. If he is not doing that, you can expect to kinda just deny all the resources. But our opening doesn't really change. We're still gonna just go for mana terms.
Estou pronto. Olá,
Coletar.
sim, cortar madeira.
Sim, cortar madeira.
This time it's gonna be 20 pop since there's deers on the map.
Coletar. Olá. Coletar.
Quais, sim, coletar. Ordens.
Sim, entendido. Estou pronto. Olá. Sim. Estou pronto. Sim. Sim.
Quais as vossas ordens?
Estou pronto. Sim, coletar.
Estou pronto. Olá,
Caçar. Quais? Caçar. Estou pronto.
quais as vossas ordens?
Olá. Estou pronto.
Annoying to push the deer, but 5 minute 30 is like your bare minimum. Until I am under it, I should be able to find my opponent and hit him with the militia.
Quais as vossas ordens? Caçar. Olá.
Caçar. Sim.
Caçar. Estou pronto. Sim. Quais as vossas ordens? Sim. Entendido. Estou pronto. Olá. Construir. Quais? Olá. Sim. Estou pronto. Estou pronto. Olá.
E é cortar madeira. Estou pronto. Caçar.
Sim. Caçar.
Caçar.
Estou pronto. Construir. Coletar.
Time to go scout him. I'm 30 seconds late. That's fine. After the ghost gold. Archery range, wall up, and wall up, and I'm completely walled against any of the aggression he can do in Feudal Age. If he is 2T saying, we'll just hit the walls, make archers, apply pressure.
Construir. Estou pronto.
Estou pronto. Sim. Coletar. Quais? Coletar.
Quais as vossas ordens?
He really wants to weaken my scout.
Estou pronto. Quais? Olá. Coletar.
Olá. Coletar. Quais as vossas construir, ordens? Cortar madeira. Sim.
Coletar.
Estou pronto.
Construir.
Sim. Ao seu avançar.
This is a nice map for him to 2TC. He can make a TC here.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Quais as vossas ordens?
Sim. Coletar.
Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Olá.
Cortar.
Quais são as
The big
vossas
difference would be instead of making the farms, I'll go for the archery range this time around.
As armas. Ao seu dispor. Sim. Farei avançar. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Atacar. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Ao seu dispor.
Entendido.
Quais são?
Avançar.
Sim. Quais são? Farei ao seu dispor. Sim.
Olá. Construir.
Maybe not.
Quais são as
Construir.
vossas ordens?
Make 2 farms, actually.
Ao seu dispor.
Sim. As armas.
Quais são as vossas
Ao seu
ordens?
dispor. Sim. Entendido.
Ao seu dispor. Quais são as
Sim,
vossas
sim.
ordens? Quais as
Coleta.
vossas ordens?
Construir.
Ao
Coleta.
seu
Go for the archery range.
Olá, cortar madeira.
5 on.
Sim. Entendido.
Estou pronto. Quais são as
Construir.
vossas
Sim,
ordens?
Sim, entendido.
Quais?
Looks like he wants to attack my villager. I can't really stop that town center, so I'll make a loop to find
Pronto.
areas to hit.
Seu dispor. Farei o way. Sim. Cortar madeira. Construir. Construir.
Estou pronto.
Quais são as
Entendido.
Farei o way. Olá. Construir. Construir. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Ao seu dispor. Sim.
Farei o way.
Ao seu dispor.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas ordens?
Avançar.
I can just kill his mill meanwhile.
Quais são as vossas
The big thing would be, instead of getting fletching, I just want to go up to the next stage.
Sim. Atacar. Ao seu dispor.
My scout has more HP, so I don't care about
Sim.
trading hit points right now. I'll just get the wood upgrade.
Vossas ordens?
Sim.
Quais são
Entendido.
as vossas ordens?
Ao seu dispor.
Quais são as
Avançar.
vossas
Sim.
ordens?
Sim. Atacar. As armas. Sim.
Quais são
Atacar.
as
Ao
vossas
seu
ordens?
dispor. Sim. Sim.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Estou pronto.
Construir.
Construir.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Ao seu dispor. Sim. Entendido. Ao seu dispor.
Quais são as Farei
Sim.
o way.
Olá.
Olá. Quais
If
são
he's making skirmishes and
Entendido. Sim.
villages at the same time from both his town centers, he cannot really sustain this.
Construir. Olá.
Sim.
Quais são as vossas
Just because he made skirmishes, which I was not expecting, I'm gonna make the adaptation of actually
Ao seu dispor.
going for fletching so that I can continue pressuring those berries.
Atacar. Ao seu dispor. Sim.
Otherwise, I would have used that food count that I have right now to go up to the next stage.
Construir. Quais são as
Sim.
vossas
Ao seu dispor. As armas.
Quais são as vossas
Farei ao seu
ordens?
dispor. Entendido. Sim. As
Because
armas.
if I get fletching, he needs fletching as well, or armor for his skirmishes to push me away.
Sim. Ao seu
Quais
dispor.
são as vossas ordens? As vossas
Sim.
ordens?
Ao seu dispor. Entendido.
Quais são as vossas
Atacar.
ordens?
Ao seu dispor.
Quais são as vossas
Sim.
ordens?
Avançar.
Quais são
Ao
as
seu
vossas
dispor.
ordens?
Sim.
Farei
Quais
o
são
way.
as vossas
Entendido.
ordens? Sim. Ao seu dispor.
Quais
Ao
são
seu
as
dispor.
vossas
Farei o
ordens?
way.
Olá.
Sim.
Quais são as
As armas.
vossas ordens?
Ao seu
Quais
dispor.
são as
Avançar.
vossas ordens?
Entendido. Sim. Sim. Ao seu dispor. As armas.
Quais
Entendido.
são as vossas
As armas.
ordens?
Sim. Farei o way. Ao seu
Quais
dispor.
são as
Sim.
vossas
Estou
ordens?
pronto. Sim. Ao seu dispor. Entendido. Avançar.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas ordens?
Quais?
Construir
Ao seu
as
dispor.
ordens?
Atacar.
Farei
Sim.
o way.
Ao seu
Quais
dispor.
são as
Avançar.
I'm fletching now finally.
Entendido. Atacar.
Quais são
Sim,
as
sim.
vossas ordens?
Avançar.
Farei
Ao seu
o way.
dispor. Atacar. Entendido.
Quais são as vossas
Sim.
ordens?
Farei o way.
Olá.
Ao seu
Quais são as
avançar. Ao
vossas
seu
ordens?
dispor. As armas. Sim. Sim.
Quais são as
Atacar.
vossas
Avançar. Ao
ordens?
seu dispor.
Farei o
Quais
way.
são as armas? Sim.
Quais são as
Atacar.
vossas ordens?
Ao seu dispor.
Quais são
Sim.
as vossas
As armas.
Farei o
Sim.
way.
Atacar. Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Entendido. Atacar. As armas.
Quais são as
Sim. Ao
Farei
seu
o
dispor.
way.
Sim. Atacar. Ao seu
Quais
as
são
armas.
as
Ao seu
vossas
dispor.
ordens?
Entendido. As armas. Sim. Avançar. Atacar.
Farei o
As
way.
armas. Entendido. Atacar.
Olá.
Same thing I always do when I can apply pressure. Always just hit their farms so that I can start killing some farmers.
Ao seu
16
sim.
farms.
Avançar. Atacar.
We are ready to go up to the next stage.
Ao seu dispor.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas
As
ordens?
armas. Ao seu dispor. Avançar.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Sim.
Farei
As
o
armas.
way.
Atacar. Entendido.
Quais são as vossas
Avançar.
ordens? Farei o way.
As armas.
Entendido.
Ao seu dispor. Sim. Atacar.
Farei o way.
Quais são? Entendido.
Put them on box formation so that they are more accurate.
Quais são as vossas
Atacar. Ao
ordens?
seu dispor. Avançar.
Quais as vossas
Estou
ordens?
pronto. Entendido.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas
Farei o
ordens?
Farei.
Ao
Entendido.
seu dispor.
Farei
Sim.
o way. As armas.
Now we're up to the next stage.
Vossas ordens?
Sim.
As long as he doesn't have blacksmith upgrades, I can continue applying pressure.
Sim. Construir.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Construir. Construir.
Estou pronto.
Construir.
Sim. As armas.
Quais são as vossas
Sim.
ordens?
Sim. Entendido. Ao seu
Get armor for my archers so that they're more tanky.
Avançar. Atacar. Sim. Sim. Avançar.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
And the big thing against humans specifically, because you have to punish their second town center, is to add siege immediately.
Olá.
Ao seu dispor. Sim. Farei Luê.
Do the gold upgrade and the farm upgrade.
Estou pronto.
Olá.
Quais? Estou pronto.
Quais são
Sim.
as vossas
Farei
ordens?
Luê.
Quais são as vossas
As armas. Ao
ordens?
seu dispor.
I'll idle that wood line for a little
Farei
bit.
Luê. Sim.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas
Entendi. Sim.
ordens?
Just wherever I can force damage to idle and stuff, the better.
Quais são as
Farei
vossas
Luê.
ordens?
Atacar. Sim. Farei Ao seu Luê. dispor.
Quais são
As
as
armas.
vossas
Ao seu
ordens?
dispor.
Quais são
Sim.
as vossas
Olá.
Farei
ordens?
Luê.
Sim.
I
Quais as vossas ordens?
want the second archery range.
Sim. Avançar.
Farei
Ao seu
Luê.
dispor. Atacar. Entendido. Avançar.
Quais são as-
Sim.
quais
Atacar.
são
As
as
armas.
vossas
Farei Luê.
ordens?
Avançar.
Quais são as
Atacar.
vossas ordens?
Entendido. Sim. Sim. Ao seu dispor. Farei Luê. Avançar.
He managed to kinda clean me.
Ao seu dispor. Atacar. Farei
Quais são
Luê.
as vossas ordens?
Entendido. Sim. As armas. Farei Luê. Ao seu
Sim.
atacar.
Quais são as
Entendido.
vossas
Olá.
ordens?
Quais?
Construir.
Ao seu
As
dispor.
ordens?
Sim. Entendido. Sim.
Estou pronto. Coletar.
Get the wood upgrade. Bodkin arrow, crossbow.
Quais são as
Farei
vossas
Luê.
ordens?
Sim. Farei Luê.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas
Entendido.
ordens?
Farei Luê. Ao seu dispor. Entendido. Sim. Farei Luê. Sim. Sim. Ao seu dispor.
Just go back and sit on his wood line and then attack his
Sim. Farei Luê.
stuff
Estou pronto.
with
Olá.
Sim. Construir.
Quais são as vossas
Entendido.
crossbows.
Ao
As
seu
armas.
dispor.
Quais são as vossas
Farei Luê.
ordens?
Avançar. Ao seu dispor. Entendido. Sim. Farei Luê. Ao seu dispor. Entendido. Atacar. Sim. Farei Luê.
Quais são as
Entendido.
vossas
Avançar.
ordens?
Sim. Ao seu dispor. Atacar.
That was, I think, her only wood line.
Quais são as vossas
As armas.
Quais? As
Construir.
vossas
Olá.
ordens?
Cortar.
Sim. Ao seu entendido. Avançar. Sim. As armas. Atacar. Farei Luê.
Quais são?
Avançar. Entendido. Ao seu as armas.
Estou pronto.
Sim.
Entendido.
Quais são
Farei
as
Luê.
vossas ordens?
Entendido. Sim. Farei Luê.
Just run away.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Entendido.
And that
As
army is
armas.
trapped.
Atacar.
But what can you do?
Quais são as
Quais?
vossas ordens?
Coletar. Estou pronto.
The big thing would be if I did not punish it by sieging his town center right now like this,
Ao seu
he
dispor.
will be able to use his boom in order to kill me.
Quais? Construir.
Quais são as
And right now I just want to attack his town center with the mangonel
Sim.
Sim. Sim.
against Feudal Age skirmishes. The mangonel is amazing.
Sim. Farei Luê.
Coletar. Construir.
Quais são
Entendido. Farei Luê.
Just want to mass. And behind this I can add another TC
Estou pronto.
whenever I have the wood for it.
Quais são
Farei
as
Luê.
vossas ordens?
Sim.
Construir. Olá.
Construir.
Ao seu dispor. Sim. Sim. Atacar. Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Farei Luê. Sim. Entendido. Ao seu dispor. As armas. Farei Luê.
Sim. Construir.
Just kinda letting his TC die.
Sim. Entendido. Sim. Avançar.
Quais são as
Entendido.
vossas
Olá.
ordens?
Construir.
Ao seu dispor. Sim.
Move on to the next TC.
Atacar. Farei Luê.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
And that's GG. Against someone playing Cuman specifically, you have to kind of adapt to the situation. You can't let them continue to boom for free. You have to go forward and make a siege workshop. And if you apply enough pressure with man-at-arms and archers, you will be the first one up to the next stage most of the time, as long as you follow my macro rules. Get like your 8 to 10 on word, 4 to 5 on gold. After that, your one range archery production with walls is completed. Then you go for 14 to 16 farms and then click up to the next stage. That's the whole feudal macro setup. Yeah, basically at 1700 now. So islands. This is not Arabia. Well, more dodging in the latter half compared to the first half, because the higher up you climb, the more you realize half the players like playing the other maps than Arabia. So Arabia is still one of, if not the most popular map in the game. So you're most likely gonna find games, but you have to sometimes play the other maps. Or you can dodge them like me. If you dodge more than 2 or 3 times, you do get a penalty of 30 minutes. So you have to watch out for that. I'm not really even considering my enemy civilization and just going for the build regardless of the situation. But in the next 15 elo, we have to start taking those things into consideration. Vietnamese, one of the other civilization, which is pretty much up there with being one of the solid civs you can go for in the meta. Chicken map, 21 pop.
Esto
Wise.
Let's start our opponent now.
Sin cortarme. Hola. Sin coleta. Coleta. Esto pronto. Sim. Quais as vossas ordens? Olá. Esto pronto. Sim. Coletar. Quais as vossas ordens? Farei lo. Olá. Esto pronto. Coletar. Quais as vossas ordens? Olá. Esto pronto.
He wanted to hit my scout.
Sim. Olá. Caçar.
Sim, farei, Luei. Estou pronto. Olá, construir.
Esto pronto.
Sim, coletar.
Again, same thing. Make a house, then collect any of the 10 resource you need towards the enemy. Wood or food would most likely be the best option for you.
Quais as vossas
Collecting gold is also fine.
Sim. Caçar.
Just make circles.
Esto pronto.
Estou pronto.
Sim.
Olá,
Olá.
construir.
Entendido. Quais as vossas ordens? Esto pronto. Quais? Sim. Caçar. Olá. Entendido. Esto pronto. Olá. Caçar.
If he wants to attack,
Sim, Luei.
that's fine. I'll send another villager
Olá,
to rescue it.
quais as vossas ordens? Sim. Construir.
I'll just wall the villain
Esto pronto.
and then go back to work.
Estou pronto. Farei, Luei.
Entendi.
Olá,
Sim.
farei, Luei. Construir. Cortar madeira.
Sim.
Quais as
Olá.
vossas ordens?
Quais as vossas ordens? Esto pronto. Sim.
Needed to
Olá. Sim.
Entendi. Coletar.
balance my eco a little bit.
Estou pronto. Sim.
Construir. Olá. Esto pronto. Construir. Coletar. Sim.
I messed up. I'll go up one more population up later.
Estou pronto. Construir.
That's basically the big adaptation I can make. Whenever I mess up in Dark Age, I'll just add another population
Cortar
to
madeira.
whatever I'm doing. If you get lamed or stuff, just add one more pop to whatever build you're doing.
Esto pronto. Coletar. Esto pronto. Construir. Olá. Quais as vossas coletar? Sim. Coletar. Quais? Coletar. Sim. Cortar madeira. Esto pronto.
Sim.
Olá. Coletar. Quais? Cortar madeira. Olá. Sim.
Cortar madeira. Cortar madeira.
Esto pronto. Olá. Cortar madeira. Esto pronto.
Cortar madeira.
Sim. Quais as vossas cortar madeira? Olá. Esto pronto. Cortar madeira. Sim. Construir. Cortar madeira. Quais as vossas construir? Esto pronto. Sim. Coletar.
It's up pretty quick.
Quais as vossas ordens?
I forgot to make a mill over there.
Quais as vossas ordens?
Olá.
Construir.
Esto pronto. Sim. Coletar. Quais as vossas ordens?
Olá. Coletar.
Olá.
Estou pronto.
Esto
Construir.
pronto. Olá. Sim. Quais as vossas ordens?
Sim.
Caçar.
Quais
Olá.
as
Caçar,
vossas
caçar.
ordens? Quais são as vossas
Esto
ordens?
pronto. Sim. Quais? Coletar.
Sim.
Sim.
Ao seu dispor. Farei no way. Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor.
Looks like walling in his
Olá.
stuff.
Construir.
Quais? Construir.
Quais são as
Ao
vossas
seu dispor.
ordens?
Atacar.
Sim.
Avançar.
Farei no way.
Start
Quais
killing
são
his
as
chickens.
vossas ordens?
Olá.
Ao seu
Construir.
dispor. Entendido.
Esto pronto. Coletar.
Sim. Ao seu dispor.
Quais são
Farei
as
com
vossas
ele. Ao seu
ordens?
dispor.
Quais são as
As
vossas
armas.
ordens?
Sim, entendido. Atacar. Quais? Cortar as ordens. Avançar.
I'm going to think about basically skipping the maritime upgrade for a bit.
Estou pronto.
Olá,
Construir.
Quais são
construir.
as vossas
Estou
ordens?
pronto. Construir.
Sim. Atacar. Ao seu dispor. Olá.
Sim. Coletar.
Sim.
Quais são as vossas
Estou
ordens?
pronto.
Quais?
Oh, he got my villager. That's nice.
Quais são as vossas
Ao seu
ordens?
dispor. Farei com ele. Estou pronto. Sim. Sim.
Construir.
Estou pronto.
Quais são
Construir.
as vossas ordens?
Sim. Ao seu dispor.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas
Farei com
ordens?
ele. Quais? As vossas
Construir.
ordens. Sim.
Coletar.
Ao seu dispor.
I can get his
Quais
villager.
são as vossas
Ao
ordens?
atacar. Sim. As armas. Ao seu dispor.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas
Sim. Ao
Doesn't
seu
look like it.
farei com ele.
He managed to save it.
Sim.
Olá. Cortar
Ao
madeira.
seu dispor. Entendido. Sim.
Quais as vossas ordens? Construir. 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 Cortar
Quais são
madeira.
as vossas ordens?
Entendido. Sim.
Minerar.
Quais as vossas
Construir.
ordens?
Construir.
Olá.
Cortar madeira. Construir.
Estou pronto.
Construir.
Ir-me-ei. Farei no ele. Ao seu dispor.
You don't have to always get the maritime upgrade when your opponent is walled and stuff like that. If there is no place to do damage.
Sim.
My start was a little bit unorthodox, so
Construir. Construir.
I'm just gonna rely on
Quais são
most of my other stuff.
ordens?
Get fletching and then continue walling up.
Estou pronto. Quais as vossas
Coletar.
ordens?
Cortar madeira.
Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Farei no ele. Estou pronto.
Construir. Coletar. Construir.
Sim.
Cortar madeira.
Entendido.
Sim. Construir.
Quais são as vossas
Farei
ordens?
entendido. Entendido.
Sim.
Ir-me-ei.
Sim. Cortar
Quais
madeira.
as vossas
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Estou pronto.
Ao seu dispor. Quais as vossas ordens?
Quais
Cortar
são as
madeira.
vossas
Sim.
ordens?
Ao seu
Let's
dispor.
move out.
Atacar. Farei no ele. Avançar. Ao seu dispor. Entendido. As armas.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Estou pronto.
Construir.
Sim. Ao seu dispor. Sim. Farei no
Atacar.
Sim.
I managed to kill a villager.
Quais são as vossas
Entendido.
ordens?
Olá.
Construir. Construir.
Estou pronto. Quais as vossas ordens?
Sim.
Sim. Olá.
Olá.
Quais as vossas ordens?
Olá.
Ao seu
Construir.
dispor. Sim.
Quais
Ao
são
seu
as
dispor.
vossas ordens? Quais são as vossas
Entendido.
ordens?
Sim. Avançar.
Deny
Ao seu
him
dispor.
from
As
killing.
armas. Avançar.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Sim. Entendido.
Quais as vossas ordens? Construir.
Quais são as vossas
Ao
ordens?
seu dispor. Sim. Sim.
Sim. Construir.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Atacar. Farei no ele. Avançar. Entendido. Atacar. As armas. Farei no atacar. Avançar. Sim. Entendido. Ao seu dispor. As armas. Farei no ele. Atacar. Sim. Avançar.
Just
Farei
keep
no
killing
ele. As
villagers.
armas. Sim. Avançar.
And then go up to the next stage. I had the resources to click up. Most of the time, you just go from militia and then follow it up with archers like that. Go up slightly later so that you can afford everything. Well, almost 2 more elo needed before I switch my build order. I'll play the last build with 20 and 21. Then I'll switch to 19 and 20, which is what basically everyone at the top of the ladder use. when going for mana terms. I'm going for a more beginner friendly mana term build order right now than the most efficient one.
Esto pronto.
Dravidians. Good skirmishers, good mana towns, good archers. Not the best matchup for Portuguese with my approach, especially since I'm not gonna mix knights, but this might be the situation where, like, going up to the next stage, you start making knights when you feel like your opponent is on too many skirmishers instead of going for the 2 archery range approach. This can be a good introduction to that build, opening like that, and then based on what our opponent is doing, we can make a mix of crossbow and knights in Castle Edge. Scouts if needed, but most of the time we just rely on walls to not let that happen in the first place. Time to push deers. So this is a 20 pop opening.
Hola. Construir. Coleta. Sim.
Olá, cortar madeira.
Hola. Casa. Esto pronto. Casa.
Caçar.
6-3.
Sim,
Hola. Esto pronto.
estou pronto. Farei quais? Sim, as vossas ordens.
Sim.
Coletado. Sim, entendido.
Sim. Casa.
Quais? Caçar. Farei Olá.
Esto pronto.
Caçar. Estou pronto. Sim, caçar.
Hola. Esto pronto. Hola.
Caçar.
Sim. Coleta.
Make a house.
Hola.
530 is my
Olá.
latest I can move out, basically.
Esto pronto.
Estou pronto. Caçar. Quais? As vossas ordens.
Sim. Construir.
Estou pronto.
Sim. Casa.
Olá. Entendido.
Hola.
Quais? As vossas
Esto
ordens.
pronto. Construir. Coleta.
Sim. Olá. Sim. Estou pronto. Quais? As vossas ordens. Sim. Caçar. Estou
Caçar.
pronto. Quais
Caçar.
as vossas ordens?
Hmm. Goes gold.
Sim. Olá. Coletar.
Sim, coletar. Olá,
Coletar.
quais as vossas ordens? Olá,
Coletar. Coletar. Resolveis? Coletar.
estou pronto. Olá,
Caçar.
cortar madeira. Sim, quais? Estou pronto. Cortar madeira.
Estou pronto.
He's doing the same thing.
Sim, coletar.
Olá. Coletar.
Olá, cortar madeira. Estou pronto.
Coletar. Estou pronto. Sim.
Construir, cortar madeira. Sim,
Quais as resolveis?
Next stage.
entendido. Ao seu dispor.
As armas.
Quais são
As
as
armas.
vossas ordens?
Olá. Construir.
Ao
Coletar.
seu dispor. Quais são as
Farei
vossas
moer.
ordens?
Estou pronto.
Cortar,
Sim.
cortar madeira. Quais as vossas ordens?
Ao seu dispor. Sim, entendido.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas
Farei
ordens?
moer.
Quais são as
Entendido.
vossas ordens?
Sim, farei moer.
Quais são as
Atacar.
vossas ordens?
Sim, ao seu dispor.
Quais
As
são as
armas.
vossas ordens?
Sim. Estou pronto. Construir.
Estou
Olá.
pronto.
Construir.
Ao seu dispor.
Quais? Construir. Estou pronto.
Quais as vossas ordens? Construir. Estou pronto. Construir. Quais são as
Ao
vossas
seu
ordens?
dispor. Sim, ao seu
Atacar.
dispor. As armas.
Quais são as
Atacar.
vossas ordens?
Sim,
Quais são
as armas. Avançar.
Sim.
Entendi.
Olá. Construir. Estou pronto. Olá.
Ao
Why is he not up?
Quais?
Farei. Quais
Sim.
as vossas
Sim.
ordens?
Estou
Sim.
pronto.
Sim. Minerar. Construir. Farei-lo-ei. Construir. Entendido.
Sim.
Ir-lhe-ei.
Quais?
Quais as vossas
Sim,
ordens?
farei-lo-ei.
Olá.
Ir-lhe-ei.
Estou
Quais
pronto.
são as
Sim.
vossas ordens?
As avançar. As armas. As armas.
Avançar.
As armas.
Farei-lo-ei. Estou pronto. Construir. Quais são as vossas
Sim, sim.
ordens?
Just run all the way back.
Sim. Coletar.
Olá.
Olá.
Estou pronto. Construir. 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 Estou pronto.
Construir. Olá. Construir.
Quais são as vossas
Ao seu
ordens?
Estou pronto. Construir. 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 Quais as vossas ordens? Construir.
Olá. Cortar madeira. Construir.
Sim, entendido.
Olá. Cortar madeira. Construir.
Quais são as
Farei
vossas
Just wait for 3 arches.
Quais? Coletar.
Quais? Sim, coletar.
Estou pronto.
Sim, sim. Ao seu dispor. Sim, avançar. Atacar. Ao seu dispor.
Olá. Construir. Sim. Estou pronto. Construir. Minerar.
Quais são as vossas
As armas.
Quais? Sim. Construir. Olá. Construir. Estou pronto. Construir. Quais as vossas construir. 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 Cortar madeira.
Sim,
Quais? Estou pronto. Coletar. Sim, coletar. Olá. Quais? As vossas Sim, cortar madeira. Coletar. Quais são as vossas ordens?
That's basically the adaptation
sim.
in the opening,
Estou pronto.
Sim,
at least.
farei-lo-ei.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas ordens?
Ao seu dispor. Atacar.
Sim.
Sim, avançar. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor, farei o meu. Atacar!
Estou pronto.
Olá.
Construir. Quais? Construir.
Quais são as vossas
Entendido.
ordens?
As armas.
Ao seu dispor.
Avançar.
Quais são as vossas
Farei
ordens?
sim.
Quais
Atacar.
são as
Avançar.
vossas
As
ordens?
Make 3 houses.
Estou pronto.
Quais?
Sim.
Construir.
Olá.
Coletar.
Quais as vossas
Sim.
ordens? Ao seu
Atacar.
dispor. Sim.
Avançar.
Sim. Construir. Estou
Quais
pronto.
são as vossas
Sim.
ordens?
As armas.
Ao seu dispor.
Sim. Entendido.
Quais são
Avançar.
as
Atacar.
vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor.
Sim.
Ao seu dispor.
Quais são as armas?
vossas ordens?
Sim.
Farei o way. Sim. Farei o way.
Quais?
Ao seu
Construir.
dispor. Quais são as vossas
Olá.
ordens?
Construir.
Sim. Ao seu
Construir.
dispor.
Entendido.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas ordens?
Sim.
Farei o
Estou
way.
pronto.
Just waiting for
Entendido.
my farm count to increase so that I can go up to the next stage.
Farei
Vossas
o way.
ordens. Sim. Entendido.
Sim. Construir.
I already killed a bunch of villagers, so I don't really care about
Sim.
doing more damage in his
Ao seu
base.
dispor. Farei o
I
way.
just wanna retreat with this army and
Quais são as
regroup.
vossas ordens?
He's making skirmishers. So this time around, I will make knights when I'm up to the next stage.
Ao seu dispor.
Entendido.
The easiest way of doing it is just
Sim.
make a stable.
Estou pronto. Construir.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Ao seu dispor.
Farei o way.
Sim. Entendido. Estou pronto. Construir.
Ao seu dispor. Quais são
Sim.
as vossas
Just
ordens?
wait inside my
Quais
base.
são
Sim.
as vossas ordens? Farei o way.
Ao seu dispor. Sim.
Sim. Farei o way.
Quais? Construir.
Quais são as
Entendido.
vossas ordens?
Avançar.
Quais as vossas ordens?
Construir.
Estou pronto.
Olá.
Cortar.
Estou pronto.
Entendido. Cortar. Olá.
Construir. Olá.
Ei.
If you've done the damage, you don't really need to do more.
Ao seu dispor.
Kill
Avançar.
like one villager or two villagers and then you can just sit in your base.
Estou pronto. Construir. Coletar. Sim. Coletar. Estou pronto.
Quais são
As
as
armas.
vossas ordens?
Quais as vossas ordens?
Quais as vossas ordens?
Lots of scums.
Ao seu dispor. Entendido.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Atacar. Avançar. Sim. As armas. Ao seu dispor.
Quais são as
I wanna get rid of the mana toms because they are the damage dealers.
vossas
Sim.
ordens? Ao
Entendido.
seu dispor. Farei o way.
Sim.
Quais são
Ao
as
seu
vossas
entendido.
ordens?
Sim.
Farei o way.
Sim. Entendido.
Sim.
Avançar. Atacar.
Farei o way.
As armas. Ao seu dispor. Sim.
Estou pronto.
And I had a stable.
Sim.
Quais são as vossas
Olá.
ordens?
Sim. Quais?
Coletar. Sim.
Farei o way. Farei o way.
Entendido. Atacar. Sim.
Quais são as
As
vossas
armas.
Farei
Ao
o
seu
way.
dispor.
Quais são as vossas
Avançar.
ordens?
Sim. As armas.
Ao seu dispor.
Avançar.
Farei o way.
Atacar.
Ao seu
Sim.
dispor.
Sim. Ao seu dispor. Entendido.
Quais
Get
são as
armor for my cavalry.
Entendido. Sim. Sim.
Farei o way.
Quais são
Sim.
as armas?
ordens? Farei o way.
Ao seu dispor. Entendido.
Horse collar.
Sim.
Yeah, he wants to just deny me from
Construir.
taking that, so I'll just
Estou pronto. Construir. Sim.
make extra farms.
Olá.
Sim.
Construir.
Sim.
Farei o way.
Instead of
Quais?
forcing myself to repair that or save it, I'll just make another archery range so that I won't have to worry about this.
Estou pronto. Sim. Ao seu dispor. Entendido. Sim.
Farei o way. Quais são as vossas
Entendido.
ordens?
Sim.
Estou pronto.
Estou pronto. Ao seu dispor.
Quais são as
Atacar.
vossas ordens?
Sim.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Avançar. Ao seu dispor. Sim.
Farei o way.
Ao seu dispor. As armas. Sim. Atacar.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas ordens?
Ao seu
Farei
dispor.
o way.
He wants to run away because he doesn't want to get cleaned up. Makes sense.
Estou pronto. Sim. Entendido.
Quais as vossas ordens? Coletar.
Just add a couple more villagers to food. More than I need. 20 farms is more than enough.
Sim. Ao seu dispor.
Quais são
Farei
as
o way.
vossas ordens?
Ao seu dispor.
I'll make archers, crossbows, and knights.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Sim. Quais?
Next step would be to get the
Construir.
wood upgrade
Farei
when I can afford it, of course.
Construir. Esto pronto. Cortar
Sim.
madera.
Avançar. Sim. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as atacar? Farei ao seu dispor. Avançar. Sim. Sim. Atacar. Entendido. Quais são as vossas ordens? Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Farei atacar. Sim. Entendido.
Wood upgrade.
Quais são as atacar? Farei ao seu dispor. Sim. Sim. Farei atacar. Farei ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Atacar. Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Quais são
I'm just suiciding everything.
ao seu dispor? Sim. Sim. As armas. Farei atacar. Entendido. Avançar. Sim. Atacar. Entendido. As armas. Farei
That's just basically the build order, and now
Sim.
we start setting ourselves up for Castle Age,
Ao seu dispor. Sim. Farei
like our same macro.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Add like a TC there, maybe a TC on my stone as well. That's basically the whole setup for going up to crossbow with knights. Whenever you see skirmishes from your opponent, you just start making knights in early Castle Age like this. It's like 1700, almost 1800. Okay, now we are. What? Did I lose rating? Thought I was at 1700 almost. I just needed one more game. But maybe not. It doesn't show any losses in my account yet. Same guy, same serve, same situation, my guessing.
Construir. Quais? Coleta. Olá. Coleta.
Bunny time. I won't really change the build order until I'm 1700 basically. I thought that was my last game
Sí. Coleta.
that I needed, but apparently not.
Esto coleta.
Sim, cortar madeira. Olá, construir.
Esto coleta. Quais? Coleta. Sí. Coleta. Quais?
Cortar madeira.
Time to go start them.
Sim,
Olá. Coleta.
quais
Sim.
as
Coleta.
vossas ordens?
This time around I have gold in the front. I'll collect
Sim,
10
quais
gold
as
after
vossas
making the
ordens?
house.
Olá, construir. Estou pronto. Farei.
Esto pronto. Sim. Olá. Coleta.
Sim, caçar.
Esto pronto.
Estou pronto.
Caçar.
Olá.
Caçar. Estou caçar.
Quais as vossas ordens? Sim, caçar.
There are his bunnies.
Quais as suas
And now we look for his wood and stuff, which I found.
Quais as vossas ordens?
Sim, caçar.
Olá.
Olá.
Estou pronto. Quais as vossas
minerar.
ordens?
Estou pronto.
Estou pronto. Construir.
Olá.
Sim.
Sim. Quais as madeira?
Olá. Caçar.
Olá. Estou pronto.
Looks like the wood line
Caçar.
in his base is a little bit too big. This is an entire wood line.
Sim. Construir. Minerar.
Kind of funny the map, but it's okay.
Estou pronto.
12 on the boar.
Olá.
Olá. Estou
Olha.
pronto. Sim. Minerar. Olá.
Coletar. Sim.
Coletar.
Estou pronto. Construir. Coletar. Quais?
Coletar.
Look up.
Quais as vossas ordens?
Estou pronto. Olá. Coletar madeira. Sim. Cortar madeira. Quais? Cortar olá.
Olá.
Estou pronto.
Quais? Sim. Coletar.
Sim.
Estou pronto. Cortar madeira. Quais as vossas ordens? Estou pronto. Coletar. Cortar madeira. Olá. Sim.
Olá.
Quais as vossas ordens?
Sim.
Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Atacar. Armas.
Quais as vossas ordens?
Construir.
Estou pronto. Construir. Caçar.
Sim. Olá. Construir. Minerar. Construir. Ao seu dispor. Sim. Avançar. Estou pronto. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Try to apply pressure.
Ao seu dispor. Sim. Atacar. Farei-lo. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Farei-lo. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Construir. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Entendido. Ao seu dispor. Sim. Farei-lo. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor.
Sim.
Estou pronto. Minerar. Construir. Construir. Quais são as vossas ordens? Armas. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Make 3 houses.
Construir.
Ah, that's a mistake.
As vossas ordens? Construir. Sim. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Sim. Construir. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens?
I had to run away.
Estou pronto.
Quais são as
If I can't find any damage anywhere, I won't click the mana tom upgrade. I'll just get the wood upgrade instead.
Caçar.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
And I'm gonna
Construir.
lure him to my
Ao seu dispor. Entendi. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Atacar.
I'll kill the scout
Sim. Farei-lo.
and then run away.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor.
Lost my militia, but managed to keep his mana toms at bay.
Estou pronto. Construir. Sim. Construir. 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 Olá. Construir. Construir. Quais? Construir. Construir. Construir.
Estou pronto. Minerar. Sim. Farei away.
Let's try to maybe
Farei away. Construir.
sneak
Caçar.
some damage.
Farei away. Caçar. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Make 3 archers and then try to
Quais as vossas?
attack with them.
Estou pronto. Ao seu dispor. Armas.
Olá.
Quais
Construir.
são as vossas ordens?
Still just defending with the mana
Ao seu
terms.
dispor. Farei away.
Sim. Cortar.
Sim. Construir.
Not the best use of them.
Maneira. Quais
Mana term is expensive and you can't really afford to keep them like that. Just doing nothing.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Sim. Construir. Ao seu dispor.
Because I'm gonna be up faster than him, but I kind of threw my scout away, so that's pretty bad.
Ao seu dispor. Sim. Entendi. As armas.
Looks like he doesn't want to attack me, and he's fully walling himself as well.
Construir.
Quais são as vossas
So I
ordens?
can perhaps
Farei
just
away. Caçar.
take it easy and
Maneira.
Sim.
go up to the next stage instead.
Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Atacar.
When you don't find any place to do damage,
Quais são as vossas ordens?
like he's just
Ao
camping,
seu
so
dispor. Farei
I'm gonna
away.
skip fletching until I actually need it.
Quais as vossas? Construir.
Sim.
Olá. Construir.
While all of that is happening,
Construir.
I'll just
Quais
keep making
são as
farms.
vossas ordens?
Olá. Construir.
Quais as vossas ordens?
when I don't need fletching, I can just go up on
Ao seu dispor. Olá.
less villages than I
Estou
actually
pronto.
would want on farms.
Quais as vossas ordens?
I'm surprised he's just not attacking.
Sim.
Estou pronto.
Olá.
Well,
Construir.
Olá.
Quais as vossas
overloading the
Minerar. Quais
gold a
as
little
vossas
bit.
ordens?
And whenever I have this issue, I can just always make a tower in order to stop him.
Quais? Estou pronto. Olá. Construir.
Estou pronto. Olá.
Minerar. Sim. Minerar. Minerar. Olá.
Minerar.
We're up to the next stage.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
He's gonna attack from this area, but it's okay.
Estou pronto. Minerar. Sim.
Estou pronto. Minerar. Ao seu dispor. Farei away. Quais as vossas ordens? Construir.
Construir.
Sim. Construir. Olá. Construir.
Estou pronto. Construir.
Quais são as vossas ordens? Quais são as Farei away.
Oh, he's gonna go for the blacksmith.
Sim. Ao seu dispor. Entendi. Quais são
Annoying, but
as armas?
not really the biggest deal.
Olá. Quais? Sim.
Olá. Estou pronto. Sim. Sim. Ao seu dispor.
Olá. Construir.
Sim.
Coletar.
Quais são as armas? Sim. Quais são atacar? Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu dispor. Avançar. As armas. Quais são ao seu dispor? Avançar. Sim. Quais são atacar? Farei seu dispor. Sim.
Estou pronto.
Sim.
Just
Entendi.
replace the blacksmith.
Quais são? Farei ao seu dispor. Sim. Construir. Quais são?
So that I can
as
get
armas?
Bodkin arrow.
Estou pronto.
Cortar madeira. Sim. Farei away.
Quais? Olá.
Minerar. Cortar madeira. Estou pronto.
Sim. Quais? Construir. Estou pronto.
Idle my TC for a little bit until I can afford the upgrade.
Ordem.
Estou pronto.
Olá. Construir. Ao seu dispor. Quais são as vossas ordens? Ao seu farei away. Sim, entendido. Ao seu farei atacar. Sim, entendido. Quais são farei away. Ao seu dispor. Quais são
As armas.
vossas
Sim.
ordens?
Entendido.
Quais são as
Farei
vossas
no way.
ordens?
Try to catch that army.
Ao seu dispor.
Avançar. Sim.
Quais são as vossas
Ao
ordens?
seu dispor. Sim. Entendido.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Sim, estou pronto. Sim,
Sim. Ao
sim.
seu dispor. Sim. Atacar.
Ao seu dispor.
As armas. Sim.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas ordens?
Farei no way.
Quais são as
Avançar.
vossas ordens?
Ao seu dispor. Sim. As armas. Ao seu
Quais
dispor.
são
Farei
as
no way. Ao
vossas
seu
ordens?
avançar. Sim. As armas.
Quais são as
Entendido.
vossas ordens?
Atacar. Farei no way. Avançar. Entendido. Atacar. Sim. As armas. Farei no way. Atacar. Sim. As armas. Sim. Avançar. Ao seu entendido.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas ordens?
Farei
Fine.
Olá, estou pronto.
Estou pronto.
Olá,
For now.
olá.
Cortar madeira.
Sim,
Construir.
quais as vossas minerais?
Ao seu dispor.
Quais são as
As
vossas
armas.
ordens?
Entendido.
Quais são
Atacar.
as vossas
Vai.
ordens?
Sim.
Quais são
Farei
as
no way.
vossas ordens?
Ao seu dispor.
Want the
Sim,
word
farei no
upgrade?
way. Ao seu entendido.
Quais são as
As
vossas
armas.
ordens?
Sim. Avançar.
Ao
Farei
seu
no
dispor.
way.
Quais são as vossas
Sim.
ordens?
Entendido.
Quais são as
Farei
vossas
no way.
ordens?
Cortar
Estou
madeira.
pronto.
Sim.
Cortar
Ao seu
madeira.
dispor.
Sim. Quais são as vossas ordens?
Ao seu dispor. Sim. Farei no way.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Ao seu dispor. Atacar. Sim. Entendido.
Get the word upgrade.
Vossas
Olá,
ordens?
I'll start mining a little bit of stone.
entendido.
Vossas ordens?
Construir.
Olá. Construir. Construir. Coletar. Sim.
Get the horse color upgrade.
Ao seu dispor. As armas. Avançar.
Quais são as
And
vossas
he
ordens?
should have a wood line
Farei no way.
either there or over there.
Estou pronto.
So I can deny those wood lines from him.
Sim.
Mineral. Cortar madeira.
Ao seu dispor. Sim. Sim.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas
As armas.
ordens?
Ao seu dispor.
There's
Avançar.
the wood line.
Atacar. Ao seu dispor. Farei no way.
Quais são
Ao
as
seu
vossas
dispor. Sim.
ordens?
Sim. Entendido.
Quais são
Farei
as
no way.
vossas ordens?
Sim. Avançar.
Quais são as
Atacar.
vossas
Ao seu
ordens?
dispor.
Quais
Way.
são
As
as
armas. Ao seu
vossas
dispor.
ordens?
Sim. Entendido. Olá.
Now we can start booming.
Construir.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas
Farei
ordens?
no way. Ao seu dispor. Sim. Farei no
Atacar.
way.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Estou pronto. Sim. Ao seu dispor. Entendido.
Avançar.
Sim. Farei no way. Ao seu dispor. Entendido.
Quais são
As
as
armas.
vossas
Ao seu
ordens?
dispor. Entendido.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas ordens?
It's fine if he wants to just buy time or something.
Quais são
Sim,
as
sim.
vossas
I'm pretty
ordens?
far ahead in economy now.
Ao seu dispor. Entendido. Sim. As armas. Farei no way. Avançar.
Quais
As
são as
armas.
Just wanna spend my word.
ordens?
Quais as vossas construir.
Sim. Ao seu dispor.
Quais são
Sim.
as vossas ordens?
Ao seu dispor.
Sim. Estou pronta. Quais? Olá. Sim. Sim. Farei no
Sim.
mineral.
Estou pronto. Construir.
Quais são as
Avançar.
vossas ordens?
Estou pronto.
Just wanna expand to a fresh wood line.
Construir.
That's a mistake.
Ao seu dispor.
Against elephant archers, your best bet is to just go
Quais são
for
as vossas ordens?
Sim.
what do you call it?
Quais são as vossas
Monks.
ordens?
Olá.
I'll make a
construir.
monastery.
Ao seu dispor.
Quais são as
Sim.
vossas
Farei
ordens?
no way. Ao seu dispor. Entendido.
Construir.
Olá. Sim. Sim. Farei no way.
Quais são as vossas ordens?
Since he has a siege workshop of his own, I'll make another siege workshop myself
Quais são
to kill his mangonel.
Quais são as vossas
As
ordens?
armas. Quais? Olá. Estou pronto.
Construir.
Olá.
Quais?
Ao seu
Construir.
dispor. Sim. Avançar.
Quais
As
são as
armas.
vossas
Entendido. Ao seu
Avançar.
dispor.
Sim. Construir. Estou construir.
Sim. As armas. Ao seu avançar.
Quais são as
Entendido.
vossas ordens?
Sim.
Quais são as
As armas. Ao seu dispor.
As
Sim.
armas.
Olá. Construir. Construir.
Sim. Avançar.
Por dentro.
Now we just wait
Quais
for
são as
Imperial
vossas
Age,
ordens?
Estou
because
pronto. Sim.
I don't really need to overextend since I already forced him to make so many towers. When your opponent makes this many amount of towers,
Sim.
you'd kind of know that he's like super low economy.
Ao seu dispor. Avançar. Ao seu dispor. Atacar.
Quais são as paredes?
Sim. As armas. Ao seu dispor.
Quais são?
Ao seu dispor. Atacar.
Estou pronto. Construir. Construir.
That worked out in my favor. GG.
Sim. Ao seu dispor.
Knights and crossbows are very efficient in terms of unit quality. You can basically kill almost every unit composition in Castle Age if you have enough of them. Now we are at 1700, and that's where I'll end the video for now, because this stage I only played mana Tom into archers. I did not deviate from that plan. A couple of things that I did change were making knights against skirmishers or making mangonels against skirmishers. Mangonels are a little bit easier to micro when you're at a lower elo, but when you're up slightly higher, you are more likely to be using double unit compositions. In this case, the knights and crossbows is the unit composition we are going to be working with. But for 20 to 21 population uptime with 19 or 20 villages on a DL/chicken map is what you want to do. So this is your 1500 to 1700 guide on the Manatam build order. The next few things that you have to work on is from 1700 to 1900 is the next big jump. That will be fast builds with Manatams. And from 1900 to 2k, you are kind of freestyling based on what your opponent is doing, but you are almost always opening Manatam still. You just do not click the Manatam upgrade if everything is walled in, like I did in this game. That's basically it. And I'll see you guys in the next one for 1700 to 1900 and 1900 to 2k, depending on how much time I have. That would be the next guide. Okay, see ya.